Oh, there it is. There's my flash flood warning in this area till 10:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Avoid flood areas.
What's the difference between Eastern Daylight and Eastern Standard Time?
Eastern Daylight is during daylight saving.
So there's no difference. Okay.
There's an hour difference for 7 months out of the year.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
Not all countries in the world recognize
I'm aware.
daylight savings. So,
But they're all wrong. So.
hey, welcome to bonus content. I'm Alex. Tony and Scott are here. Nobishin's here. Frank is here. Hi, Frank.
Hey.
This is your first podcast ever.
It is.
Ever.
So, I mean, I'm going to do so well at it, and then I'm just going to retire. Can't live up to it.
Gotta go to the top. Do you already hate it? Do you already regret this decision?
Almost indefinitely.
How you doing, Tony?
Uh,
You've been up for 42 hours, you said.
Yep.
Awake. Somehow
Yep.
you're still here.
Somehow I'm here.
Yeah.
It's been a time.
Yeah. Aren't you sleeping?
I should be.
Well, yeah. No one's disagreeing with you.
There's that, and then like today at work, it was like really bad.
Yeah, I bet.
So, I'm not really sure how I'm still here.
Well,
but okay.
if you happen to
Scott's
pass
got an
out, send Alex the entire track.
Yeah,
Okay.
like the full
All
42
of
hour
it.
track.
I don't know. Like I was driving home from work today, about an hour and a half ago, less than that actually, and it was raining really hard. And then I got home and I just kind of sat there and watched the rain, and it was really loud. And then I found like I guess at this point it's like my sixth wind, and so I'm kind of right now. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason in D&D they make you take long rests.
I don't know. I guess I'm just I'm here. There's a solid possibility that at any point during this I will immediately be not here.
Yeah.
But so far I'm just kind of riding that wave of being here.
Okay. I mean, to be fair, like Nobishin falls asleep during the show all the time now.
Yeah, it's really cute. You
that's
can hear him snoring when I'm explaining my games, and you know.
And then I'll just like mute his microphone in the hangout. And we'll tell him. I'll start texting him saying, "Go to bed. Go to bed. Please sleep."
Listen,
You
Are
don't say
okay,
that.
Nobishin? I don't say that.
I hope you enjoyed that.
I ask if you're okay. I don't want to hear about your fucking Clash of Clans. How?
That's what everyone wants.
I know you don't want to talk about it, Nobishin. We don't have to talk about it, but like, how are you doing?
Yeah, we're not going to talk about it.
Are you like hanging in there?
It's hard to put in to really say stuff about it. All right, I'll say something.
Okay.
And people don't freak out. Like I would never do this. It's just like how I've been feeling lately. But like it's like I'd never had so much of like I want to kill myself type of situations than I am right
Yeah.
now. Like I would never do it, though. Don't freak out. I was just saying like it's just been like one of those things that's like fuck. I can't. I don't want to be here. It's terrible, and I don't like it for like multiple things. But I don't really want to get to it. I just like to just stay happy here because
Yeah,
I
no,
barely
like-
get that any time during the week. So
Sure.
And I mean, like, trust me, I understand. Like, this is, in a lot of cases, has been, for the past few weeks, has been kind of like my detox. I like, okay, video games.
Video games.
Yeah, I understand. So, but, I mean, I hope it gets better. Are you looking at, like, options to kind of get out of the situation that you're in?
I've been talking to like some of my old bosses, and like they've been like trying to transfer me over there to back to where I used to be. I will still be what I am because I still want to be what I am, but I just don't want to be where I'm at.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
if that makes sense. So,
That makes sense.
but I doubt if he'll let me go because he really likes how I work. So it's just one of those things. So it might just be like, just give him a 2-week notice and be like, sorry.
Yeah.
But I have to find something else before that because I'm an adult. I can't just fucking just leave the job. So you know.
Yeah. No, but sanity comes first. I'm sure you know. All right. Well, I hope it gets figured out. We're all, we love you. Well, I love you. I can't speak for these other fuckers.
Najee knows I love him way too much for all this.
Yeah. Well.
I mean, I love him. I'm not
Yeah.
Frank loves it. But there's a lot of love in this room right now.
Yeah, we'll see Unfriended 2 together one day.
Yeah, exactly. It said 2016, and I've been waiting for that trailer to drop.
It's like I don't know what's taking so long with that. Like,
I don't know. Like, it'll probably come out like December 28th.
How's life treating you, Frank?
It's going pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Not too long ago, I was in a similar situation to what Option was talking about, and we were kind of talking about it last night on Overwatch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So got that new job, doing stuff, traveling to conventions, meeting people I hang out with on the internet.
Going to PAX West and immediately regretting it.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're gonna have a good time. Those kids out there
No, yeah.
on the Seattle.
Like, I
coast.
know it's always worth it.
Yeah. Frank, what do you do on the internet? I'm giving you your
I mean, I don't know. Are we allowed to get NSFW on this?
Yeah, this is absolutely. I tried to think of a more explicit thing for not safe for work, but I couldn't. So,
Yeah.
not safe fucking work. I don't. That's the
I
best
mean,
I've got.
I'm all about that farmersonly.com.
Trying to find your OTP.
Yep. And I'm all about that fake Twitter accounts for an energy drink company.
You are the official, unofficial, licensed Balls spokesman.
Yeah.
For Balls Energy.
I've done more for that company this year than anyone that has actually worked there.
It's true. I mean, I don't know. There's something about the commitment to balls, like specifically balls. Was it the name that gravitated you towards balls?
Well, that's how it started, because at PAX South, they were like, oh, there's this booth giving out balls. And I'm like, all right, well, that's amazing. Let's go there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you proceeded to make a lot of balls puns. And then it became I wanted to work at the company, and then I wanted to run the marketing team, and now I'm going to own the company.
Just like the.
And then there's
the
some other stuff about like a presidential election in a couple of years on the balls platform.
I stand for balls and balls alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't let your balls stand alone. I don't know.
I really want to. We were talking about doing something like, how Hershey has that whole like city. We're gonna do like Ballstopia.
Ballstopia? Yeah, I like, as long as it also has a chocolate river. I imagine.
I mean, there is like a root beer balls, so maybe we'll get like a giant river of that.
Okay.
We'll make some desserts and stuff.
We'll be like Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory, where a fat kid gets stuck in the tubes.
Yeah, I mean, no one will come to our tours, so I can't guarantee that'll happen. But we will have the whole fountain.
Okay. At the very least, we'll just push Zyger into it. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
He'll live.
Yeah.
He'll drink his way through.
He's my number one salesman.
Yeah.
He'll just lounge in there, staring out the picture window hybrid thing.
The picture window hybrid thing. Tony, did you take
We are
like
gonna have that.
Oh, go ahead.
We are gonna have that machine from Willy Wonka that like spurts jizz on everyone.
I was like looking at several Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory gifs recently, and
As you do.
as I'm ought to do. Man, that movie was weird. I just I wanted to share that with everyone here. Have a little moment to myself for that.
Have
go
you
ahead.
ever seen Willard?
Willard?
It's
The movie? The film?
yeah.
That sounds really familiar. I think I have.
It's about a bunch of mice and tear them up and.
Yes. Yeah.
So you have seen that movie?
Yes, I have.
Because I recently I just remember the Ben song. I'm like, oh, I remember Ben. That's a great song. And then I was like, oh, I remember that movie Willard, like that was attached to me. Because I used to watch that scene because I liked that song a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched that scene again recently. As a matter of fact, before we actually start the show, you should watch that shit again, just to see it, because like I completely, like visually, like oh wow, that was intense.
What scene is it?
Uh,
Willard mice.
Just put Ben in Willard in YouTube, and it'll probably be like the first thing you see. But like, this is the imagery is like just super weird.
Kristen Glover's Ben video Willard.
Oh yes, Kristen Glover.
Okay.
My dude.
Christian Glover is.
Hey, you take your damn hands off her. Goddamn hands off.
Okay, I have it pulled up. We'll be ready for that. Live reactions to Willard. Brought to you by Irrational Passions bonus content. Scott, how's life, man?
So far so good. Actually been a pretty slow week this week.
So far, these years so far have been pretty good.
I'm almost 23 years in, and I think it's all right. Okay, go on. I'm sorry.
I mean, there's still tomorrow left.
Fair. Just tomorrow, though.
Your birthday's coming up.
Oh yeah.
Roger Picorni is going to get into Maryland on your birthday.
Whoa.
Cool.
Are we going to do something for your
I
birthday,
hope so.
Scott?
Are we gonna get Scott Ridley drunk?
Should we do a birthday stream?
When is?
Scott's like, when is my birthday?
What day of the week is my birthday
It's a
on?
Thursday.
Thursday. Then probably not.
Okay. I figured. You
Day
can come
after.
over the day earlier of the podcast, that Saturday.
Yeah, Four Swords Adventures live.
Yeah, do Four Swords Adventures live. Every time you steal a big trapezoid diamond crystal currency, you have to take a shot. No, we're not.
What
doing
about
that.
Final Fantasy Explorers?
How about every time you lose one, you have to take a shot?
Maybe. Fuck Final Fantasy Explorers.
And then every time
Hey, man, the game's quality.
every time Tingle steals a gem, you also have to take a shot.
Well, yeah, I mean, every time Tingle's on screen, you just keep drinking until he finishes.
No.
Yeah.
He's there for way too long.
Yeah, he's you would be dead. You would die almost instantly. We'd go through 40s like nobody's business. Yeah, I've been thinking about trading Final Fantasy Explorers. I don't trade games anymore, but I really just want to get rid of that one.
Why?
I'm just kidding. Because
That game's great.
it's a waste of my goddamn money. Yeah, all right. Well, maybe we'll do something. I do want to say thank you, Frank, for stepping in. Our guest canceled almost last
I don't know
minute.
how far you had to go down the Rolodex to get to me, but I'm happy to be here.
I texted everyone in the group thread, and Nabishan was like, "We should have Frank on. He's cool." I'm like, "All right." So that was about
I'm
how far
honored.
down we were gonna go.
We did it.
We did it. Something. All right, sorry. Trevor's watching right now. He tweeted something about farmers only, and I can't.
Sorry there, Trevor.
It's already there.
So since Trevor's watching, in honor of him, we should really dive into this unfriended review discussion.
I mean, Nava shouldn't talk to me about it after, like, the day after. And I'm like, I've simultaneously never been more jealous and also more thankful I didn't have to deal with that. Didn't they, like, recently announce
We should have
Unfriended
been-
2?
They did, and it's supposed to come out in 2016.
Fuck yeah. Fucking Unfriended 2. What do you think, like...
We watched it twice in 1 week. Like, it was like 2 days apart. We watched it again.
You watch it again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that.
It was great the first time, and the second time, it does not hold up. It was real bad.
It does not hold up for 24 hours.
It doesn't. It was real bad to sit through.
How does that movie end?
What do you mean?
Not
they
great.
become friends again.
Yeah, does she accept her Facebook friend request?
I mean, they could do the kind of thing where, like, so spoilers for Unfriended, but
Okay.
everyone dies,
Yeah, of course.
and the, like, main girl, she does this thing where she closes her laptop, which is, like, the whole movie is, like, this Google Hangout. Like, that's all you see is, like, her laptop. And she closes the laptop, and you can still see it perfectly fine, and then she jumps at the screen, and the movie ends, and it rolls the credits.
Trevor tweeted as a follow up to us saying it didn't hold up the first time. So, sounds like Unfriended rough.
Yeah,
Unfriended
he
2 though,
loved it.
they're gonna bring it in.
Was anyone involved ever expecting it not to be rough though?
Yeah, it's true. When I saw the trailers for that, I don't think I'd ever been more disgusted
I mean,
by.
Kaylee did say she thought it was going to be good. And also, Christian, who was in the room, saw it in the theater.
Oh, that's right, he did.
Fuck, man.
And it has the memorable line of, while two girls are fighting, the one guy says, "Let's go, I'll pick you up and we'll fight outside of a Wendy's."
What? Oh my
That's a
God.
line in the movie.
That's a line in the movie. All right, maybe
Yeah.
maybe it took a turn. Maybe it looped back
maybe
around.
this
to being
movie's
incredible.
It's
Anytime
pretty great
anyone
the first
suggests
time.
fighting in a Wendy's parking lot, it's okay in my book. It's mostly Aaron Hansen though. I think he's just like declaring that he'll fight people in a Wendy's parking lot until they sponsor him or something.
Well, like my favorite part was this part where she's like trying to send a Gmail email and she can't figure out how to do it because like since the ghost is haunting the computer, it like got rid of the send button.
Of course.
And they're like yelling at her on the Skype call, and he's like, "Lauren, you dumb bitch, can't you figure out how to use Gmail?" And I like to imagine that that wasn't in the movie, and they just left the cameras rolling, and that was the conversation that ensued.
Lauren, have you never sent an email?
That's you're in the. Were you there? Were you in the movie?
Yeah, right. That's reenactment. To be fair, I think like what are these kids like 17, 16? I'm not sure.
Well, they're 25, but
Oh,
they're
yeah.
supposed to be 17.
In real life, of course. But like I don't know any like 16-year-old kid today that knows how to send an email. I'm kidding.
There was some nice touches though. Like she's a 17-year-old girl, and all the tabs are like Forever 21 and like BuzzFeed and stuff. Like there was some nice touches in there.
Okay, good. At least it was the world dressing was really solid. In
Yeah, I mean, I'll
Unfriended.
give them props on that. If we're complimenting one of the greatest movies of the year,
Yeah.
Unfriended.
Movie of the generation.
Just don't ever watch it after the first time. First time, it's great. Anytime after that, it's awful.
Okay, fair enough. Or maybe it's just always been terrible. I did want to. So I had some notes that I did want to bring up. That I've been meaning to bring up for like a couple weeks, I think. Yeah, 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
So Nabishin and I played. Well, Nabishin played before me, but I played the Order 1886 this past year. And for folks who don't know, I haven't been too outspoken about it.
Have you been sitting on this for like an entire year? Like,
No, it's just been a couple weeks.
Okay.
I had like a moment of realization. I've been obsessed with the musical Hamilton, as of late, and that's because of Trevor Starkey. Thank you, Trevor, for that. So, Marquis Lafayette is a character in the Order 1886, and Marquis de Lafayette is a character in Hamilton. I'm like, I wonder if this is the same person. Ends up, it is the same person. He's actually a real historical figure from U.S. history. He's a friend of Alexander Hamilton that helped gain French support in the Revolutionary American War, which I didn't know. Made me appreciate that character in the Order 1886 a little bit more. I don't know if you know
I like that game.
Nabishin. The game's all right.
I platinumed it, but I didn't pay $60 for it. I paid $9 for it on a flash sale, so
Yeah,
my
yeah.
expectations were a little bit different.
Yeah, the same. So, it was okay. I thought that was cool. Like, because Lafayette is very awesome in Hamilton, the musical. He's very sassy. So like his character and how he acts in the Order is actually pretty accurate to how he was in Hamilton, and by extension, hopefully real life. But that's cool. I also wanted to say thank you to everyone who's tweeting pictures that got our shirt. It seems like first wave of the Irrational Passions #1 fan T-shirt are out there, and they look awesome. George Cruz took a great picture with it on that you should look up and just bask in it. So yeah, thank you
I'm
to
a big
everybody.
fan of his brother.
Yeah,
That's a Terry Crews joke.
I know. I
Just
got it.
in case anyone
I
didn't
just
get
want to
it.
let it sit out there, like just let it hang. uh, and for we talked about it a couple weeks ago, and I'll bring it up again in a minute when we start the real show. The Irrational Passions official T-shirt is on sale again temporarily until Thursday, because Teespring, like I said last week, is weird and they only let you. It was 5 days or 6 days or 13 days. So thank you for that. But so that's up for the next week or so. It'll be 5 days from now. So like I said, Thursday, um, you'll be able to pick that up. It's $20, just for folks that had missed it. Mostly, I didn't bring a whole like have it set to a whole bunch. But if you wanted to get one and you didn't get one, now's the time to get it. So, and thank you to folks that have already picked that up. I appreciate it. I think that's everything bonus content worthy. Do you guys want to start the real show? And
Yeah.
I have to watch this Willard video, which I'm gonna turn the volume down so it's not terribly too loud. Is this supposed to be like on a play stage?
That scene is, yeah.
Okay.
So you're watching this. I'll be right back.
Okay. So this guy's. Oh my god. I remember seeing this movie a long time ago, but man, it's been a long time. This movie came out in 2003. This is super weird. Crispin Glover is the dude, though. That's a big fucking rat, also. I hope people at home are watching along with it. Is that Hitler? Because that looked like it. Oh my god, she had a white mouse underneath her dress. What the fuck? It looked like she was like, and oh god, now she's in like a very skimpy outfit. And there's a mouse climbing up her bustier, and she's crying. Have any of you ever seen this movie?
Not to my knowledge.
This scene out of context is really taking me for a trip.
I haven't seen it. I don't even know what movie this is, but I'm really enjoying the live
It's
reaction.
it's about a guy like with rats
And Hitler.
and a Hitler, I guess. And now she's like taking out her dress or taking off her dress, and now all the people in the audience are covered in white mice in a very sexually provocative way.
That's weird.
I'm not making this up. They all look like they're like just about to fuck all these rats.
Is that what gets you going, Alex?
I mean, it definitely looks like Hitler.
As long as at the end of it, y'all, you can go, "Aw, rats."
Oh, rats. Yeah, they're all like rubbing the rats on their bodies.
Sounds
What?
like something productive to do.
Oh, then it cut back. I guess it was all just a dream. And he's just lifted off on a crane. Up, like, upstage. I don't know what the fuck just happened. I'm going to tweet a link out to this so folks can kind of come along for the ride. What did I just watch?
Did you look at that video that I sent you this morning?
Where did you send it to me?
Twitter.
I think I did. Yes. I didn't like watch the whole thing,
Right.
but I was like, yeah, this seems all right.
Yeah, it looks like Ultimate Chicken Horse idea type thing, part 2.
Seems okay. I'm gonna go get a glass of water and then we can kind of get started. So I will be right back.
We can go get a glass of death and then...
Cool.
Oh.
Get that.
I'm just gonna go get an empty glass.
Sure.
I'm gonna go get an empty cup. I lied. I'm gonna do my mic check because I haven't even opened Audacity yet.
Okay. Do, 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 do.
I sound fine.
I forgot that something did happen in my life. Also, it's worth noting.
Yes, tell us.
I have an additional roommate now.
What's his name?
It's Ethan's girlfriend.
That's cool.
Moved in with us. Yeah. She's cool.
I haven't really heard so much about her from you, so I don't really have an impression on her. So
No, I mean, I feel like we haven't had the chance to talk about it too much.
When's your boyfriend moving in, Alex?
Thanks. Very cute.
I'm moving in next week.
November.
Yeah, yeah.
Aw.
Frank's coming in November.
Man, you just like casually shut down Scott. That was rude.
I mean, Frank got there first, I guess.
Pretty sure I got
that's
that
all it
first.
takes for you is whoever was there first.
Pretty much.
I'm pretty sure I got there first.
I don't know. It all bleeds together in my ears.
Why are your
yeah,
ears bleeding?
She's cool, but my rent went down. More importantly, that's nice. I've been like so fucking stressed out lately. Like so stressed. So that was just so nice. I'm like, oh, this is less money I have to spend, and water bill won't be as bad, and the BG&E bill won't be as bad.
that reminds me, like when I was with Mark and Katie, and they were always like, not really pressuring me, but it was like, you know, and me not see other girlfriends, so they get this rent, please, get this rent lower.
That's like us, but with Damien to move in.
What?
Like,
You just never wanted to?
that's a whole other conversation about him.
Okay.
Like, well, yeah, I mean, you complain about where you live all the time, but you totally could afford to not live there. He's like, yeah, but I want to have at least $300 to spend money a week. I'm like, you get paid more than both of us combined. Anyway, that's a whole other. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah, the big thing that happened in my life this week was I found out Danny Juarez was in a Burger King commercial.
Yeah, that was a
And-
revelation.
What I don't think I told you was that I spent 20 minutes watching Burger King commercials trying to find him. And they had a whole ad campaign, like you said, where they got rid of the Whopper, and there's an 8-minute documentary about the ad campaign.
Yep. Did you
And I
find
watched
the
the
commercial
entire
with him
thing.
in it?
I didn't. I spent 20 minutes watching Burger King commercials, and I didn't find him at all.
Okay, we'll have to sleuth.
I was-
Sean Pitts just tweeted this out, and I think it's important. It's important to our conversation. One,
IGN.
yeah, Sean Pitts from IGN.com.
Oh, that guy.
One, Five Guys. Two, Whataburger, which I've never had Whataburger, so I can't speak to it. Three, Wendy's. Four, In-N-Out. Five, McDonald's. Six, anywhere but Burger King. Seven, Burger King. Do we agree? Discuss.
Five Guys is one of my favorite burgers. So.
Yeah, Five
That's
Guys
what I
is
had
really
for
good.
lunch today.
I'm not like arguing that Five Guys belongs there, but I will say that I think Burger King is better than McDonald's.
No, I'm totally like Burger King is awful.
Burger King is gross.
The McDonald's is fantastic.
McDonald's is also gross.
I think they're both gross.
No, it's fantastic.
I just think Burger King's better.
Wendy's is a little high for me, I would say.
No, I can't agree with that.
I would probably take
I
In-N-Out
like a good
over Wendy's.
I like a good charbroil.
Just because In-N-Out's super cheap and Wendy's is ungodly expensive for no reason.
It is very expensive.
I've never had Whataburger though. I'd love to
It's
have
like
it.
you want to go to Wendy's and get a meal, you're gonna spend like $18.
Yeah, you're looking at like $9 minimum. I'm like, Jesus.
But so my favorite part about the Burger King ad campaign was there's a section of the commercials where instead of they don't tell them they got rid of the Whopper, but they give them like a Big Mac instead. And it's awesome. This one guy is so angry. He's about to knock out the guy working behind the counter that he got a Wendy's burger instead of a Whopper.
McDonald's burger?
Well, because they did Wendy's and McDonald's.
Oh, okay.
And then the guy's like telling him, he goes, "This is a Wendy's burger," and he goes, "I want a Whopper," and he goes, "We can't make square burgers here. We don't have the technology."
Get a knife and cut it.
Just cut the fucking burger.
It's awesome. No, the dude is like, "I fucking hate Wendy's." He's like yelling in the Burger King. Like, I love it so much.
That is awesome. All right, let's start this real shit. This real shit, Scott.
Real quick,
What?
Namishin,
Yes.
did you happen to see that video that I tweeted at you earlier?
What do you need me for?
Huh? Yeah, that one.
Overcooked? Yeah. Before we even start.
What?
Sorry, you cut out an option. Sorry.
Oh, I said I literally started watching it right before we started the show.
Oh, okay. I think we should play that game at Extra Life on stream.
Oh, confirmed.
Never played Ultimate Chicken either.
Confirmed Joseph Fate for Extra Life.
Good.
We're getting the family back together. And Tyrone is coming as well.
Good.
I like Tyrone quite a bit.
I like him too.
Frank
I'm just
Bozzani,
gonna-
still not welcome.
Yep, I was gonna say I'm just gonna take a drink during this.
He's like, well, I guess I have nothing to say. All right, we're gonna start recording. So I'm gonna count down from 5 to 1, and then we're gonna start. Does that sound all right, Frank?
Yeah.
On 1, we'll hit record
All
together.
right. Hey, people.
I'll let him go. Hi, yes.
You
sorry.
guys have an excellent show.
Oh, you're gonna.
You
I just
bouncing?
I just came for the BC,
The BC.
the Blackhawks.
Okay. And he's gone. He was just gone. That was the last thing he said.
He died as he lived.
Yeah. Riding on a weirdly shaped black penis. All right. On 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Mm-hmm.
Did you do it? Did it work, Frank?
Yeah. Yep.
Then let's get this party started. I'll get this tweet ready. It's gonna be a good time. Cameron Abbott tweeted at me saying Burger King is far better than Mickey D's. I just want to put that out there. I like
Better
they're-
breakfast sandwiches. I always go there for breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah, that's what Ethan does the same thing.
McDonald's has the best breakfast.
You guys all eat like garbage.
Yeah, well, Scott, you eat
It's
like
like you go
garbage
there
too.
every
You just
day.
eat different garbage.
I mean, if you count, I guess, chicken, kale, rice, shit like that as garbage, fine.
Sounds like hot street trash to me. Episode 288 with ads. Not that. There we go. It's happening. All right.
I was gonna tweet out, but I'm just gonna let you do the hard work, and I'm just gonna retweet it.
That's fine. Your followers get the picture.
Yeah,
Tonight's
just
free show
living
puff
up.
is brought to you by BC Blackhawks. All right, let's do this. It is Saturday, July 30th, 2016, and you are listening to the Irrational Passions podcast. I'm your host, Alex O'Neill, and with me this week I have Scott Guth here.
Hello.
Hi, Scott. Tony Horvath is missing this week.
Tony, yeah, he's missing.
Yeah, he was here for the bonus content, but he went to bed now.
Watch the bonus content to find out where he went.
Yeah, he went to ride off on an elephant. But here, regardless, is Brian Nobishin Jackson.
Hollapaloo and howdy do. Musty bronze in Timbuktu.
And joining us this week, as you heard just a moment ago, the lovely irrelevant jokes himself, Frank Bozzani.
Hey, everybody.
Hi,
I didn't
Frank.
have anything good like an option does, so I just went with that.
That's fine. You can. It's. I like. I
Yeah.
like introducing the guests after an option because they always feel like garbage. I mean,
I
rightfully so.
mean, running ahead of time, but I definitely blew all my jokes on the farmers only thing.
You brought in farmers only as your one big punchline, and from here on out, it's just downhill.
I have another one about a joke about irrational passions, but I figured I'll try to segue into that later.
Okay, that's fine. I'm excited now. I look forward to it.
Yeah, you'll notice that.
It's there was like this bit on my brother and me where Justin said, "I'm gonna try and incorporate a phrase I heard on Fuller House like into the show, and we'll see if you guys notice." And at some point, he just yells, "Holy chalupas!" And they're like, "That's the fucking phrase." No, I already know that that's the phrase. So I hope it's at least in the ballpark of Holy Chalupas. We got a good show lined up for everyone this week. Thank you so much to everyone who's been listening and tweeting and being a part of the show. And thank you to all the folks that got our Irrational Passions #1 fan t-shirt. We really appreciate the people that bought that, and apparently they've been getting it. Exactly. Now you can rep.
Papiyami Umi word reference.
There you go. Now you can rep your Irrational Passions love with mysterious figures shouting Irrational Passions on a t-shirt. But if you also wanted to get a different Irrational Passions shirt, and we sold one before and you didn't get it, the Irrational Passions official tee, as it is known, that is available again for a limited time until this coming Thursday. Just go to, I think it's teespring.com/IPPT, which I was pretty proud of. I'm let you know I was very impressed with myself on that one. And you can pick it up. It's $20. Comes in men's and women's styles.
Women.
Same.
Women's styles. So yeah, that's out there for folks that missed it. And thank you to people that already ordered one or two of those. So, but as far as housekeeping is concerned, we got some stuff coming. RationalPassions.com. Stuff is happening. An article went up this week by Elliot Atland. I think I said that right. About gaming's greatest weaknesses. And he talked a lot about like hype and the way it kind of feeds into itself. A lot of stuff we actually talked about kind of when we were circling around E3 like vultures. So he talked a little bit about, how the No Man's Sky developers, Hello Games, were getting like death threats when they delayed the game and stuff like that, and how this kind of cyclical nature is just toxic to video games. It's a good piece. It definitely gives you an idea of Elliot and kind of the things that he's written. So it's worth checking out. It's titled "Opinion: A Game's Greatest Weakness" on IrrationalPassions.com. And oh man, there's some really good articles coming. I don't want to spoil the surprise, but we've got a new column coming that's really, really cool. Yeah, two new writers that still haven't had their first pieces published yet. Those are going to be coming in this coming week. And yeah, we've got kind of like 4 contributors going around now. So keep your eyes peeled to IrrationalPassions.com. There's some cool stuff coming.
How's it feel getting back to that driver's seat again?
It's awesome. Like, of all of the video games writing stuff I do, being an actual editor and working with folks on pieces is far and away my favorite thing. Like, being able to get like their draft and leave notes and then talk with them about it, help them grow, and then see like where the article goes is the most rewarding stuff that I've ever done, for sure. So it's been fun. It's definitely a lot of work, and I do so much as far as like my own writing and then freelance writing and then editing this show and running the YouTube channel and then my day job as well. I don't have as much time to commit to it as I'd like, but they've all been super open to like, okay, there's going to be long lead times on these pieces. That's why I was like, hey, this is probably going to be like a bi-weekly, monthly piece, so keep that in mind. So they're all great. These are very talented folks too. Logan and Yusuf are the other folks that have not been published yet, and I think both of their first articles are going to be coming out this coming week. Very good. I've enjoyed what I've seen of them quite a bit. But yeah, that's cool. And I think the Monthly Passions podcast is on the horizon as well. So look out for that. That'll probably be in the next 2 weeks. We'll be up. So yeah, cool stuff happening on IrrationalPassions.com. I'm trying to think of any other housekeeping stuff. If all goes according to plan, there will be Let's Plays up again starting on Monday, but I don't want to make that promise again because I haven't been able to keep it yet. But I'll have some time off soon to kind of catch up on that stuff. So let's talk about video games. How does that sound? Frank.
Sounds all right.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to clarify something, by the way.
Sure.
Since I listened to last week's show. I was excited for Sonic Mania, not Project Sonic 2017.
Yeah, I figured.
No, you literally said Project Sonic 2017.
Listen, man, when I'm in it, I don't feel what I'm saying.
I can't let your Spartan lies just like dominate the conversation.
It's true. I'm a disgusting pathological liar. So, yeah, I should have probably put those dots together. I don't know why I said anything otherwise, but Sonic Mania, it looks all right. I do want to give it a shot.
It's going to do what it is designed to do, and that's all I want. So.
Yeah, that's fine, and I want to give it a shot. I haven't played like an actual Sonic game in so long. So. Frank, video games. What do you video game?
I mean, a huge MOBA dork playing Dota all the time.
Big PC nerd.
Yep, that's me.
Just League of Legends. LOL.
Yeah, League of Legends, Clash of Clans. I'm all about it.
Fucking garbage Clash of Clans. I found out that there's like a Batman Clash of Clans game or whatever.
Nice.
Equivalent. It's like Gotham City something.
It's called Gotham City Money Grab.
Yeah, Gotham City Money Grab looks terrible. I'm probably gonna download it and play it throughout this whole show. No, I'm just kidding. No, what do you really play, Frank? Video games.
I mean, mostly PlayStation. It's where I've been at for all but like almost 20 years at this point. Mm-hmm. Lots of Overwatch lately.
Yeah,
if we want to get into like specific games.
Hella Overwatch this week.
Yeah, we had that great G4 memory trip that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, that was fun. Because I guess we hadn't gotten the chance to talk too much at like any specific point. But yeah, we played Overwatch together for the past like 4 nights or whatever. And yeah, we just talked about garbage bullshit and all the stupid things that we watched when we were younger.
And my bad usernames.
Yeah.
And how we probably got in a fight on a G4 forum and didn't know it.
Yeah, probably. Almost definitely. Yeah, and it was cool like hearing another person having like a similar story as far as like getting into video games media. Like watching and consuming it, I should say. Not necessarily like producing it, but yeah, it was cool. G4.
Well, it was interesting too because like while you and other people had that thought of like, oh, I should make this, it never occurred to me like whatsoever. Yeah. Until I met other people who were making content recently. I was like, oh, I should do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard that a lot though. I think it's definitely because when I was younger, making video games was my dream. But like, yeah, it didn't take long for me to realize I had no creative talent as far as like game design was concerned. So
I wanted to do the same. And I distinctly remember being in like 5th grade, and they were like, "Oh, what does everyone want to be?" And all the boys are like, "I want to play football. I want to play baseball." And all the girls are like, "I want to be dancers and like pop stars." And it's a true story. And and I was just like, "Yeah, I want to play football," because I didn't want to be the one guy that was like, "I want to make games."
So in your weird like 1972 elementary school environment.
I know, like it sounds stupid. It sounds like it's just like a weird like sexist thing, but that's like exactly what everyone said.
Yeah, that is weird.
But I wanted to make games, and I used to like have these notebooks that I would like write ideas in. And as like a teenager, I went back and read some of them, and I was like, God, these are awful.
I mean, to be fair, like I feel like I had like a notebook for like book ideas at some point, and I'm sure like most of them, like the book that I've actually started writing is just an awful, terrible idea. So, I think that that's true of everyone. Um, that's cool. I'm sad that you felt so pressured by your peers that you didn't want to say that you wanted to make games.
Yeah.
I'm not a nerd. What are you talking about? Football, yeah.
Well, it was like funny. I like it's sad, but like up until fairly recently, I like at the end of high school, I used to just hide what like a nerdy guy I was, and like everybody knew I played games. Like that was my thing. But like I used to just hide it from everyone. Like nobody knew I was watching like Let's Plays and listening to podcasts and stuff.
Yeah.
Like nobody knew like how far it went.
Like when I was in my senior year, like it's hard to hide it when you like do a podcast every week.
Yeah.
But like nobody understood like what the fuck I was doing. I was like, yeah, I mean this kid, and I would point to Scott, who would be off like eating a hot dog or something like super provocative. I'd be like, yeah, we do a podcast every Friday, and they'd be like, the fuck is that? Like no one understood what podcasts were in high school. Most of the people that I went to high school with still don't know what podcasts are. It upsets me deeply.
Well, like everybody I went to high school with, like they didn't like they as kind of nerdy things and games got more popular, but it was all about like Call of Duty and like Halo and Madden. Like I couldn't go to someone and be like, "So Gone Home, right?"
So I had this really emotional experience with Gone Home recently. They're like, "What is that? The only first-person
Yeah, and you're
games
like-
I understand have Captain Price in them."
And I was just so I was like, yeah, like it was super weird. And then, but now I'm all about like I'm on this podcast. I'm all about wearing the video game T-shirts.
Yeah,
Being honest.
yeah. I don't know. I think there is a, especially like within the kind of funny community, which is how we initially met. For folks that might not know, there is like this kind of warm feeling. Like everyone wears it so much on their sleeve there that it makes you want to be more open and honest about it. So it's
Yeah.
But you're from what? You're from Arizona, right? So I
Yeah.
don't know if there were any stigmas in the specific high school that you went. So
I don't know if there was like a stigma, I guess, in nerdy people, but like I didn't want to find out.
fair enough. Yeah, I was always such a fucking weirdo, so I knew there was nothing I could do to get away from it at the point I was at.
Well, it was like I hid the video games and stuff, but I was still made all the dumb farmers only jokes that I do now. Just like, and that's what everybody. So I was still kind of like weird because like other people just aren't like that.
Would you say you were once a farmer, only a farmer?
You don't have to be lonely, man. It's my
Yeah.
life motto.
There's love out there for everyone. Even farmers.
City folk just don't get it.
Well, in the short term, in the recent, what have you been playing? What video games have been distracting you?
Well, Overwatch has really been a distraction. Like I've cut down on my game playing so much because of Overwatch, or like other game playing. But I have been playing. I recently bought the Ratchet and Clank collection on Vita.
Okay, how is that on Vita?
So I've been playing that. It's really good actually, because like some of the platforming's hard because of like the controls, but you don't need like precise aiming necessarily. So like, and it holds up really well. But it is really interesting to see this like what it looked like, and everyone else was playing their HD version that just came out like 2 months ago.
It definitely like
And like,
I'm trying to think. What's the Eurogamer like side by side comparison website that I always forget?
Digital Foundry.
Digital Foundry. They did that side by side for Ratchet and Clank, the original, and then the 2016, and some of that stuff. Like knowing that, like, oh man, they actually updated or took directly from this game was super cool to see.
yeah, because like I recently, maybe like a week ago, got to the resort level, and I'm playing through the first game for the first time.
Yeah.
And I got to the resort level, and I saw what it looked like in the HD, like a playthrough of it, and I was like, it blew my mind, just like what it looks like, what it originally did.
Yeah.
And it's because it's exactly the same. It just looks insanely better.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's cool. Like it had been so long since I played that. Like going through the remake, if I hadn't had seen that Digital Foundry video, I would have been like, "This is all new, right? None of this was ever in a video game before." So yeah, that's how much they kind of refresh what that game looks like. So, have
If
you
you're
been?
me and you played the remake, I just would have been like, yeah, this is what it always looked like. I don't know what everyone's on about.
Yeah, exactly. It's that it's the Shovel Knight of visuals. That's a throwback callback to about 2 years ago. um, yeah, did you play the 2016 one?
I haven't yet. I'm going to, but I'm excited for it. But now I might put it off for a little while because I'm doing this one right now.
Yeah, it's
But
it would definitely
the
be
only one
worth
I'd
getting back
previously
to.
played was Up Your Arsenal,
Yeah.
and so it's fun to play these for the first time, and they're still somewhat like nostalgic, even though I didn't play them.
Mhm. Up Your Arsenal's definitely, as far as like control scheme, that one holds up the most.
Hmm.
That plays like just like pretty much the modern Ratchet and Clanks, I think. Um, cool. What else have you been playing?
And then the other thing I've been playing mostly is Minecraft Story Mode. I've been keeping up with that
A
like
Telltale
week to week.
series.
Yep.
What is Minecraft Story Mode? A Telltale series.
It's like, I guess when you phrase it that way, it's basically just like another Telltale game. It's
Mhm.
exactly like all the other ones, but it's set in the Minecraft world. And I know very little about Minecraft, just like a cursory knowledge. But I've been enjoying it, but I'm really question some of the things that they're doing with it.
Is there a creeper character?
There's creepers in it, but there's not a character of a creeper.
Okay. Like it's so hard to understand because there's no story in Minecraft, right? There's no like thrust, if I
Yeah.
may. Um, so I don't understand like what the urgency or what the through line would be. Like why are you going anywhere, doing anything, or talking to people?
Well, so yeah, like basically you're a guy played by Patton Oswalt,
Of
and you have
course.
like your group of friends, and a bad guy play. There's this thing called a group called the Order of the Stone, and they. I'll back it up a little bit more.
Whoa.
There's a dragon. There's an end boss to Minecraft called the Ender Dragon that you can
Mhm.
like work to
Mhm.
and beat him. And so they're the Order of the Stone, and they're a group of people in this world that did that, and they're like legends for the fact that they did that.
Okay.
And so Pee Wee Herman plays this like character that named Ivor, who was excluded from their group. And so to get revenge, he built a monster, and he can stop it, but then he fails to stop it. So you're like, we need to stop this monster from. It's just going around and tearing up blocks and like capturing people and stuff. So they're like,
Not the Minecraft blocks.
just all the grass and all the creepers and everything just getting pulled up.
Hmm.
And so they go to find the Order of the Stone, and then they kind of find out the Order of the Stone are kind of like shitty people, like they're not what they're made up to be. And then you kind of like you become the new Order of the Stone to like beat the monster and like save the world.
Okay. So here I guess I got more questions. I'm gonna go on a
It's all
journey
right.
here. So
It's all right. Nobody I know in the world has played this game besides me. I'm the only one.
yeah, I mean they definitely framed it as a thing that would be more approachable for kids or whatever. Um, is what is the gameplay of this? Because I mean, if it's just a Telltale series, I imagine just mostly dialogue. Is there any like building or crafting or mining
There's
components?
there's no mining, but there's a little bit of crafting to do like puzzle solving.
Okay.
So like you'll get into a room and it's like we need to do this. So then you'll like go around and open up chests and get items and stuff, and then you'll craft something until like figure it out.
Is it first person?
It's third person. It's exactly just a Telltale game.
Do
It's
you
just set
do
in the
you punch a
Minecraft world.
tree?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds alright. All
How
right.
many?
They
How
do
many
these, like-
trees?
How many trees do you punch?
I can only specifically think of one, but I think there might be more instances because they do these montages where you'll just tap A really fast and they'll like clear out a whole field in like 2 seconds.
That's awesome.
Because they'll like, oh, we need to build a staircase to get up to that mountain, and then you'll just tap A really fast and like go mine out a whole like field and just like build up to it.
That's pretty funny.
Okay, so here's a better question.
Okay.
Are there any? Is there? Okay, you might not have picked up on this too much, but is there any point in time where because you're in the world of Minecraft, building would have actually solved any problems, but you couldn't because you're playing a through line?
Yeah. Like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm
There's a. Go ahead.
because I'm 90% sure. I was 90% sure that there's no way that they could implement that feature. Because I heard about the I was there's a reference I'm trying to pull here,
You'll
but I'm
get there.
failing.
I have faith in
No,
you, Scott.
I'm dropping it. But anyway, I'd heard about how they implemented the building thing, and I just thought it was really stupid, and that
Yeah.
it would create plot holes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's just
Sure.
definitely times you'll get somewhere and they're like, okay, this is like where you're gonna build stuff because like you need to solve a puzzle, but you can't just like build stuff wherever you want.
Right.
So you're like, man, I totally would have solved that 3 hours earlier by building a diamond pickaxe, digging underground, and then not talking to anyone ever again. Okay, is it funny?
Yeah,
Kinda.
Oh, there it is.
Oh.
There it is.
Oh.
Okay, it's funny. I mean, there's a lot of comedians in on it, so I imagine
Yeah.
it'd be pretty funny.
it's like the whole cast is mostly comedians. Like I said, like Pee Wee Herman is a character, Patton Oswalt is one, Brian Posehn is a character, and then there's like more that I don't remember. Like there's tons of comedians in it. There's a whole so where like the kind of story breaks down is by episode 3, the story ends. Like you beat the monster.
Oh, okay,
And
cool.
but there's still 2 more episodes to get to 5. So then in episode 4, it's like, oh, we blew up the monster, but now it's 3 monsters. What are we gonna do?
Oh my god.
And
Now-
so then episode 4, yeah,
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, it keeps going to 5, and then they're like, yeah, now we're doing episode 6, 7, and 8.
yeah. So you beat so then it breaks into 3 monsters, and you beat the 3 monsters, and then episode 5. It starts off a whole new story that has nothing to do with the monsters because they're like, you did it, you're the heroes, and these other characters are jealous that you're the heroes, and they open up a portal to other worlds that go through, and you chase them, and that's where you end up in a sky city where building is outlawed. You're not allowed to build anything.
What the fuck?
Gasp.
This is
So then
the
they like
weirdest game.
So what
They-
you're
they
telling
got
me is
there.
that it doesn't make sense and it's pretty bad.
I mean, I like it still, but it doesn't make sense, and I really question the things they're doing with it.
Yeah.
But like
Go ahead.
you get to the Sky City, and they got there first, so they like tell everyone you're the bad guys, and you build stuff when you get there. So then you're like arrested, and you kind of go on that whole adventure and stop them, and now you're like, and then episodes 6, 7, and 8 are just adventures because you're just trying to get home. Like you go through a portal, and you end up in a hallway that's all portals, and you're just going through different portals trying to do stuff. And episode 7, this is going to be everyone's favorite, it's a murder mystery in a mansion starring nothing but Minecraft YouTubers.
Ooh.
Oh my god. That's rough. And Yvette Nicole Brown, apparently, according to this email. I'm
Yeah,
reading
she's
from-
in the latest episode.
Yeah, I'm reading this email from Telltale about episode 7, Access Denied. So yeah, I mean, this was
Yeah.
announced as like a 5-part series. And like, I remember it being weird because like all the episodes came out really quickly to one another.
At first, at
Except
least.
for
At
like
first,
episode, yeah, I looked it up just to double check, but the first episode came out like October 17th, and the next one came out October 27th.
Yeah.
Then it was like
Mhm.
November 22nd, December 22nd, and then March.
Yeah. So it was that, and then it was 5 episodes. Now it's 8. And they're
Mhm.
like selling a second season pass, I guess, for episodes.
Yeah, because if you buy the season pass or get the like box off the shelf, you only get the first 5 episodes. You have to buy the other 3 separately.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm with you because you were telling me like I have no idea where they're going with this and why they're doing any of this. But yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's just like a total money grab.
doesn't make a lot of sense.
But like,
Um,
you know what? Minecraft is popular. YouTubers are popular. Like, let's just get as much money out of
you
this
bet
as we
Nicole
can.
Brown's cool, I guess. So, I mean, as long as it's still all right. I mean, it's still you're still enjoying it, right?
Yeah, like they're not bad. It's just like the story and the pacing are all just completely ruined and like don't make sense.
That's awesome.
But it still has comedy along the way, and like the whole access denied, like the one thing about Nicole Brown is basically a whole joke. It has like a whole 15-minute segment making fun of VR.
This has become Telltale's Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
And it just ends with a big,
It,
like a big nerd guy saying "Bazinga."
yeah, I mean, I love the Big Bang Theory. You know, Bazongo, I'm all about it.
Yeah, man, that's you want to know someone who unironically loves the Big Bang Theory? My mother, for sure.
Insane.
Yeah.
Same.
So I don't know. You can't win them all, I guess. You've also been playing Guacamelee. I know it's not on your list,
Yeah.
but I know you really enjoy that game.
Yeah, I'm like 3 hours in,
Mhm.
and I'm loving it. Like, I love the game to death. I just like, I don't have anything to say besides like I love it. Like, it's really fun.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Like the platforming's great. I love like there's a lot of humor in there, and like I just got to the part where he like is just talking about doing a virgin sacrifice,
Mm.
and she's like, yeah, about that.
Do you think you're gonna try and jump on Severed after you finish this?
Yeah, I think so.
Separate so good.
I need to play that game.
On iOS right now for $5.
shit. that might be an all right place to play that game.
Probably.
I don't know how button dependent it is.
It's buttons aren't really the factor. It's more of it's all touch, other than like moving around, and you're just going from like like from it's a dungeon crawler, you're going from room to room to room. So like I guess it'll be like swipe up to go up and something like that. So
Yeah.
it's pretty simple.
Okay. Anything else you've been playing, Frank?
No, that's pretty much it. Like I recently finished my platinum in Uncharted 4,
Nice. Did you?
and then I've been playing the first Infamous for the first time.
Yeah. Did you do the exploit to get the speedrun trophy in Uncharted 4?
No, I did it straight up, which was like not fun at all. I was
Yeah.
terrified the whole time.
It sounds miserable.
Yeah, and I mean, I came in with like half an hour left because it's like you did in 6 hours. I did in like 5:35, but I was terrified the whole time.
Yeah, of course. Because then it's like, oh well, there's 6 hours I just wasted, I guess. So cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. All right, cool. Let's talk about other video games. I'm looking at people's lists here. Scott, you been playing anything good?
Yeah, that list from Scott.
Yeah. Well, it's always hit or miss, right? Because Scott doesn't write his games down because he's an animal.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Let's see. I played Dungeon to the Endless this week.
Okay.
So far, I talked about buying it a couple weeks ago,
Okay.
and I tried it once then, didn't have too much to say about it, because I kind of wanted to play it with other people. The playing it with other people thing never actually happened, so I just decided to delve into it on my own.
Okay.
So far, I don't know too much about the game as well. You start out as in a single area, and you go by room to room, and these are, I wouldn't so much say Fallout or, let's say it plays out like a Binding of the Isaac map, right?
Okay.
The layout of the dungeon, and you got to go by room to find the boss room.
Okay.
Like in Binding of Isaac. You've got a set party, and it kind of works like a board game in essence, because you have because it's opening the door to the next place is the start of your next turn.
Okay. And then
It's really weird to describe, and it's still weird to pick up, but so far I like it.
how does your turn end?
That's the thing. Your turn ends and starts on the opening of the door.
Okay. So when you open the next door, it ends your turn, and then you come back to
Right,
it?
and then it ends your turn, and then resets the waves, and then that's kind of when everything goes down is when that door opens.
That's cool.
So
That's a cool idea.
you start in your main room. You got your energy crystal. Now this
Okay.
energy crystal is what powers the entire dungeon.
Okay.
Now, this dungeon, for the most part, is essentially your crashed ship. So the premise of the game is you have to make it through all these rooms out to the exit of the ship, with your crystal as your power source helping you along the way. If the crystal gets destroyed, you lose.
Okay.
And if all your heroes die, you also lose.
Okay. So
You
standard
can-
roguelike stuff, pretty much.
Right. Standard roguelike stuff.
Okay.
I probably should have mentioned that this is a roguelike game.
That's right. I kind of picked up on it. So.
So you start out with 2 heroes. You can get up to, I think, 4 per party.
Mm-hmm.
And at least in single player, you start out with 2 heroes. You can get at least 1 per floor. I have never gotten one on the first floor before, and I've died a couple times on the first floor.
Okay.
Essentially, each major room, actually not even each major room, most rooms have I think it's called a major module
Okay.
that is selected in the center. And the 3 main ones that you start with is your science creator, your industry generator, and your food maker.
Okay.
Science creator helps you with research. I'll explain how you do that later. Industry generator is how you build stuff. Well, these things that I'm talking to you about that you can build, the industry is what the resource is called used to build them.
Yeah.
And the food replicator is everything, almost everything, to upgrade your heroes.
Oh. Okay.
Now, you have other minor modules placed around out the dungeon, which, keep in mind, you have to have the room powered, which is an entirely different resource, which I'm kind of unclear how it works so far,
Kind of sounds like FTL in that regard.
It looks kind of like it would be like FTL,
Okay.
and operates kind of similarly, because I say it's like a board game because you don't directly operate any of these buildings, machines, or even your characters. You tell them where they're supposed to be,
Yeah.
and then they do everything automatically.
All right. It's okay. So.
So yeah, I'm gonna leave my explanation there because I'm still pretty new at the game and I don't really know what I'm doing.
Yeah, it sounds like it's very like mysterious in the kind of way.
Right. Oh, and by the
error.
way, the tutorial says, all right, this is what you need to know. There's a bunch of other useful stuff that you could know, but fuck it. Start playing, you'll figure it out.
That sounds all right. This game sounds really interesting though. Like I really like the idea of it.
Mhm. If you find it on sale, I'd say definitely try and pick it up.
Yeah, I was like looking at the wiki page. It's on Xbox One. I guess it's not on PS4, but it is on Xbox One as of March. So see if I can.
Well, if it is on Mac, I'm gonna say please get it there.
So you have someone to play with.
So I have somebody to play with.
Yeah, it is on Mac. So
Is it?
It sounds cool. Like very very much roguelike in the way I like it. Also kind of reminds me of Enter the Gungeon, which also takes a lot after Binding of Isaac. So have you been playing anything else, Scott?
More Dark Souls 3.
Okay.
Do you remember where I left off last time?
You were still in the you beat the tree, right? You killed
I beat the tree. I killed the tree.
Yeah, and you were still in the undead settlement.
I was still in the undead settlement.
You met up with Sigurd though, your dude.
Oh yeah.
No, you got to the Trail of Tears, sacrifices, not. Tears.
Oh right, and I didn't go forward.
Yeah.
Okay, so I went ahead and I walked into Fair Keep,
Cool.
and then I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
So then I walked right
rough
back
spot.
out.
Yep.
And then I went into the Cathedral of the Deep.
Yeah, that's where I went next. So Cathedral of the Deep, real deep, ends up.
And also had most of my heavy weapons there too.
Yeah,
So I
there's a
was
lot
real
of heavy.
happy.
Yeah. Did you get through the Cathedral of the Deep?
I think I'm on the last boss. I helped somebody else beat it because I was confused on how he worked.
Bunch of Pope
But
hat dudes.
yeah, so I was thinking it might have been like one Dark Souls 2 boss where all of them are the boss and you got to kill all of them.
No.
But no, that wasn't the case, not at all.
No, it's the one that glows.
I ended up figuring that out when I essentially killed it for somebody else.
Yeah, okay. You did all the work, is what you're saying.
He kind of went around, hid behind a corner, and rolled around.
Okay.
And while I ran up and I bashed my head against it, simply because I don't really care if I die. I'm a phantom.
Yeah, exactly. Gives you time
But
to
I ended up
experiment.
beating it for him as well.
Yeah.
By the way,
I'm sorry that you had to deal with such a pleb. Scott.
Whatever, dude. The heavy weapon knocked those motherfuckers around.
Yeah, I bet. Sounds alright. Yeah, that boss is alright. It's not too bad. I like this. So there's like a bunch of different shaped monk-looking dudes, and the boss will jump from shape to shape, and depending on like if it's like the chubby one or like the tall skinny one, like they'll do different things. So
Anyway, so that's where I ended there. But let me tell you about the journey too,
yeah,
all the way through.
the big giants in the water, the whole
The
thing.
big giants in the water scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, dude.
It in order in order to so I was the second I went into that room and I saw the giant, the first thing I did was guess what?
You were like, all right, well, I gotta fuck with this.
Exactly, and I walked right back out.
Yeah.
I went in, and I was like, nope. went right back out.
Yeah, like these dudes are like 3 stories tall, or like taller than that.
Right, so
They're
I went ahead and I
skyscrapers.
tried to find every other way around them.
Yeah, that didn't work. You're like, oh, I have to do this. Got it. Cool. Thank you.
Right. So I went and I was like, uh-oh. Because keep in mind, this is also against, right after you have to deal with a Tower Shield Mace guy
Yeah.
with holy powers that can heal himself.
Yeah, and he sucks.
Big
He
pain in the
sucks so
balls.
much. Yeah.
He's like, what I'm also kind of upset that he can withstand the great clubs.
Yeah. He also has,
His shield doesn't stagger from an empowered great club attack.
Yeah, he also has that like when he like enchants his weapon.
Yeah,
like,
he's
when
got
he
the
hits,
enchanted weapon bomb,
leave
so
a
you can't
bomb
backstab
behind.
him.
Yeah.
You can't backstab him.
Stupid.
So it's
Assholes.
like,
Yeah.
so you had to
Almost
do
as
that. So I killed that guy, and at this point I was kind of like done.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, hard part's done. Because that guy was a little ridiculous. And then the giant just stands up, and I'm like, I can't handle this right now.
Okay.
And I walk right back out.
That's a fair place to stop.
So that's not actually where I ended up stopping. I went ahead and I thought about it a little bit, and I play most of the game fat rolling.
Yeah.
Because there's no way in hell There's no way in hell I'll have enough poise without the armor to wield the heavy weapons.
Whatever.
There's
Fat rolls garbage, Scott. You know better. Just saying. I'm just saying.
There's also no way I'm going to be feasibly going to be able to get my equip load up
Mhm.
without sinking too much points into it to go under the fat roll. So I kind of just accepted that I'm going to be fat rolling for the majority of the game.
Okay.
The big problem with this is that would make this thing that much more impossible to get by.
Yeah.
So I just had to take off my chest piece. So I ran around naked again.
Yeah, of course. The sky got through your way. That's how you got through Dark Souls 2. I believe it. So
No, I did that just for you.
I know, but it made me feel special. Okay. So did you get through the giant? Did you kill the giants?
I went and I got through the giants. The next part was a huge pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Actually, hold on. I think the giants was was before those guys. I think the giant was before those guys.
I think it's like spruce throughout because there are 3 of the giants. So
2.
2.
There's 2 of the giants, and then there's the mace guys.
Yeah, there's a bunch of those maze guys. They're everywhere. They hang out. It's a big cathedral. They're magic. Now, did you go into...
I know what I was done with when I was fighting with those guys.
Okay.
You know how you have to go up onto the rafters?
Yeah, I was gonna... This is literally...
And there's a knight and 2 guys.
Yeah.
That's about when I was done.
Okay, yeah. I was about to say that was when I was done the first time I went through that area. Was like, oh, we're gonna like hang on these precarious rafters on top of all this thing. Oh, and there's a giant guy with a mace. That's fine. That's good. He's just gonna knock me off. Okay, he knocked me off. That's good.
Right, and like all he has to do to knock you off is hit you with his shield.
Yeah, he doesn't even have to like actually hit you with a weapon. He just
He
shows
just
up.
pushes you with the shield, and it is enough to push you off the cliff to die.
It's like the guy who's always drunk before he gets to the party. Like he didn't even have to do anything to get here. He's just an asshole already. Okay, that sounds about right. So so you basically got toward the end of the cathedral and you'll get through it. Okay, that's good progress though.
I was also super upset
Yeah.
on the second Onion Knight appearance.
Yeah. When it turned out to not be the
When
Onion
it
Knight.
turned out not to be Onion Guy.
So that's I'll say, as Patches shows up, the Onion
Right.
Knight is he's still around. He's like still hanging out.
Yeah, he's in the well.
Yeah.
I found him in the well because there's that returning bonfire that you keep coming back to in that area,
Yeah.
and I ended up finding him.
Yeah. But fuck
Good that
Patches.
he's still around.
Yeah, he's still
But
around.
yeah, Patches is gonna die eventually.
Oh, I murdered the shit out of Patches.
I'm not gonna do it immediately.
I did it immediately. I'm like, fool me once, huh? All right, let's do this. It was great because like so, Patches does this thing where he lures you out onto a bridge and then he lowers it, and the giants are supposed to come attack you. I had already killed the giants,
Same here.
so he was like, "Fuck." And then he'd go back up and find him, and he's like, "Hey, it was funny, right? I thought it was funny," and then I killed him.
He tries to act like he never met you before,
Yeah.
like it didn't happen.
Yeah, like it didn't happen.
And I was like, all right, it didn't happen.
Did you send him back to the Firelink Shrine?
No,
Okay. Fuck Patches. Anyway,
I'm not sending him back there.
whether
I'm
he's
going
a
to end-
spider
I'm going to
monster,
end up killing him.
yeah, whether he's a spider monster or just Patches, I aspire to murder him in as many Souls games as possible. Cool. Anything else outside of that, Scott?
Yes, Tony and I started playing Starbound.
That's right. Yeah, Tony told me that.
Now that it's in 1.0 and actually wildly different from when we started,
Yeah.
we're gonna give it an actual run through this time. Because last time we wanted to check it out, and it was once again wildly different, but it still didn't feel complete.
Okay.
And now it feels much more so complete.
Now that you're like looking at the kind of final product, do you like what you've played more or less than Terraria? Just as a comparison for
More.
those out there. More? Okay.
After playing it this far down the road, I think that you could probably get into it with us.
Okay.
Which is why you had the Tony invite.
Yeah, and I like Tony's like you should play that again. I just like I've not been in the mood for that kind of game as of late, so I don't know, maybe I'll play some. Like I mean, I got it to play with you guys, so it's not off the table at the very least. So that's good to hear. It's come a good long way.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? Any you want to touch on, or would you rather wait for Tony to be here to talk more in depth about Starbound? He seemed like he had a lot to say about it, so that's.
Yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so far from what I remember, the combat's improved quite a bit. they actually, instead of having only randomly generated monsters, they now have also specific monsters that happen in a place.
Uh-huh.
There is, before we told you about how they had dungeons and more meaningful quests in there. Well, now they have a real story mode instead of I'd say a lead.
Okay.
You know how some games have quests just to lead you through different parts of the game?
Yeah.
This one has more of like a story mode.
Okay. So there's like actual
Actually
narrative.
working, right.
Okay.
Now, some of these quests are very, very open-ended. They require you to do a lot of... It's very, hey, this is your ultimate goal. Somehow go do that.
Okay. So you can like kind of craft your way to success.
Right. And you might get lucky and accomplish that goal immediately. You might be looking for a very long time to do that.
That sounds like a good way to do like a build your like a crafting kind of game like that. So that makes sense.
And that's what I mean. It is good.
It makes Minecraft story mode look. It gives you a lot of perspective on that, huh?
That's kind of why I'm so down on it right now. Like, even though you might like it, and I'm like, like it feels so out of place to me.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. There is something to say, like going along with kind of the tenets of what the game was trying to do. So.
Right. So, in terms, wow, that train died quickly.
Yeah, there's just the train pulled into the station, and it was like, well, I guess it's over now. Do you have anything else you want to say about it, Scott?
Well, there is one kind of annoying part of the game,
Okay.
which I'm hoping ends soon,
Okay.
and that is the food mechanic of it.
Do you have to like eat to survive? Is it one of those?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the problem with it is food goes bad.
Yeah, it does. Great. Another thing you have to remember.
So it's not just something that you can go out and do you can't just go out and do all right, I'm going to go hunt for 20, 30 minutes and then I'll be good for 5, 6 hours of playtime. Because in terms of farming and hunting, that's roughly what you'd have to do in order to be good for another 5 to 6 hours.
Yeah.
But instead it wants you to always be mindful of it, which becomes problematic as not everything drops what you need it to drop when you kill it with a bow. And returning to your farm, your setup farm, after jumping from planet to planet is kind of annoying.
Yeah. That's like that sounds rough. Like, because I mean the way
There is one caveat though.
Uh-huh.
You can put food in a refrigerator, and that halts its aging process
Oh my god.
indefinitely.
Maybe that's a little too much. I feel like that's the line. It's like, oh, I have to refrigerate this. Oh, good. It's like where the blurred lines of reality and
So
fiction,
I mean,
it's too much.
it's a temporary problem,
Uh-huh.
but at the same time, it's like, why did you do this?
why would you make it like this?
I can understand hey, you need to have food,
Yeah.
and sometimes I can understand, hey, this now has an expiration date.
Yeah. But like, why would you do this?
But like, why would you do this?
Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare. It's very survival gamey though, and Terraria is kind of in that vein, I guess.
Right, and it is very survival gamey, especially with how everything ends up playing out.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, the dungeons make the game feel a lot better. The actual world that you come to who are interesting to do a full walk around before you actually do anything else on the world.
Yeah. Okay.
The through line of the tech progression of the gear that you have to get to go from place to place is, I'm Man, I'm all over the place today.
It's all right. You've talked a lot about different things, so all right.
Yeah, the tech progression makes sense.
Yeah.
Like if you want to go to the moon, you can't expect it to have a full atmosphere. You need a spacesuit
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, I mean, like, what makes more sense though than refrigerating your food, Scott? Come on.
But like, why would you make us do that? God damn
Do
it!
you have
Like,
to?
not not a lot of games. When
Make
you
you
have
babysit
food
your
in most,
food supplies.
yes,
Do you have to clean the refrigerator at any point?
Some baking soda
you
inside.
Yeah. So the food doesn't stink.
not even Animal Crossing does this to you.
It's true. I could keep the cherries in my pocket for life. They'll always be perfect.
And fish.
Yeah, and fish. Yeah,
It's
it's
like just a whole bass or like a shark.
a living shark in my pocket. Whatever.
Yeah, just like
I've
a living shark, a dresser, a full bed.
Other than that, everything is pretty solid.
Okay. Refrigerating food. That's good. That's a good one. Speaking
I
of,
think the
oh, go ahead,
I
Frank.
think the takeaway from that is Animal Crossing is the perfect game.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what we all said. Speaking of survival games, Nabashin, what you
Yeah.
been playing?
Survival games?
Yeah, I'm pigeonholing you to talk about one game that's on your list.
Well, you have it on your list.
I do. We both played that We Happy Few. I'm guessing you just played the trial. You didn't actually buy the full game preview.
No.
No, yeah. That was not your cup of tea, it sounds like.
No, no. Not to like totally discredit the game or anything like that, because like it still has what it had in the intro we all saw at E3, which it looks great for as far as that, and that's more of what I wanted. Like ever since we started talking about it, like when we first saw it, and then it said like, oh, there's like RNG and like uh like I didn't realize how much of like a survival game that was going to be, like actual like mechanical wise, like kind of a Don't Starve type of way, which kind of like turned me off for it. So for me personally, that game isn't really my bag as far as that, but it's still in early access, so it could change around.
Yeah. It's funny because like the game was originally pitched to me because Rob James from Game Crashers had played it, and he was like trying to explain to me. He's like, "That's just such a difficult game to explain to anyone," and it was pitched to me as like this randomly generated kind of survivalish game, where like no two runs are the same, but you're in this world and how it's laid out. And then so when I saw that demo at E3 at the Microsoft press conference, it was like, whoa, this is very different than what I thought this game was. And like that's how the game opens, right? You're playing as this one character, Arthur, and you kind of go through this office space in the town hall, and then you become a downer. You stop taking your joy.
Become a downer.
You become a downer. Such a downer, Debbie Downer. Apparently, if you take, I don't know if you took the joy at the beginning. Apparently,
That
if you
just
take
ends the game, right?
yeah, it just goes to credits. That's so good.
I think it was mostly the environment of what I was playing under that that
Like
really
the,
just
the
like
time trial.
yeah, because like there's so much reading in that, and it's like, oh, I have time to read this because it's only 45 minutes, so that was like in the back of my head. So I think I should have like probably just like watched it watch someone else play it first and then played it for myself, so I could know like not really like what to do, but like where I should focus on, what parts should I enjoy for myself.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely was weird, like getting out into the world, because it's like the world itself is not what I expected. It's like this kind of like dilapidated cobblestone town that's like it looks like it's been half bombed out.
Yeah.
Like it's super weird. It's like you kind of like these grassy areas or cliff sides over the water, and then like these cobblestone roads and these like knobbly houses, almost all of which are like sealed off and closed, or destroyed. There's just like the foundation barely is sitting there. So they, occasionally there are houses you can go in, and there are people like walking around. They all look depressed. None of them look like they have joy. So that was definitely weird. But I don't know. Like, I just played around for a little bit. It was like maybe if I did a new run from now on, like, and like basically got to see it regenerate the world and see a new world and see like, oh, now I see how these building blocks get placed together. Kind of like,
Mhm.
it took me a while to kind of get there with Spelunky, but you kind of recognize like, oh, this is this like 12 by 12 square. Okay, slot it in there. I understand how this works now. So maybe it's like this row of houses, and that's what this looks like. Um, and that that's more of like a kind of meta thing to think about. But like when you're playing a roguelike, that's important to how you strategize and like prioritize. Like, oh, I need food from here, priorities here, and like I need to find a way back to my safe house. So like that was a little disarming. But I would like just playing around with it, doing the food stuff, fighting a few folks, fucking stabbing people with my pointy sticks. Was good, and it felt pretty good. And I took a joy at some point. I found a joy pill in the wild, and I took it, and it definitely like changes things. And the cool part is when you're like you basically have meters. Like some meters like, oh, I need to eat, but you have one for like, oh, I'm on joy right now, and it'll tick down. And when you are nearing the end of joy, like the entire world starts flashing from like the fictional joy world to like reality,
Oh, that's
and
cool.
it's like it'll be sunny and then it'll flash like cloudy and rainy in the sky. It's a really cool effect. I'm like, wow, this was like totally worth it just to see that. So I imagine when you get to later parts that are, I would think, less dilapidated and more kind of put together, that's more significant. So I don't know. I definitely want to play more of it. I just played that trial, so it's interesting. Yeah, I will say, like playing it, it didn't necessarily seem like something you or most people would be able to get into because it's a survival game. So for sure.
Well, so like I watched someone else play it, and it was just not what I expected at all. Like I thought it was going to be like just like trying to tell you like a story,
Mm-hmm.
or you might like walk around and explore things and have like interactions with people. And I had like when I saw it being played, I was like, this is not what I expected whatsoever.
Yeah.
And like I kind of like see the thing of like yeah, like this is does not seem like something that I would be into.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like what Brutal Legends kind of did, where it's like
Yeah, definitely.
you think it's like just a little fun action beat 'em up type of thing, and then it turned out to be like a whole RTS type of game. So it was like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I think that's a good comparison. Um, it is weird because like that prologue is in the game, right? Like going through this very kind of narrative feeling part of the game, and you're playing like this named character, Arthur Hastings, and it's like these are things that have never really been in survival games. So, uh, I'd be curious to see if they tried to incorporate some of that single player storytelling into like a procedurally generated world, and if they could do that well, that'd be really cool. We'll see. Maybe there are other characters with other stories, or maybe there are just other kind of more driven and uh, like linear as parts of it, like sections of the game. So, what else have you been playing, Nobishin?
Other than that, it's mostly been Resident Evil 5.
Hell yeah, it has.
Oh, that's just been taking up most of my time. It's just fun.
Yeah,
Still
man.
just fun. I already
That
beat
game's
it.
super fun. Oh, you did?
Yeah, yeah, I beat it. And, I'm just doing Game Plus now with Sheva and like doing her side.
How?
Um,
Tell me this, and I guess spoilers for Resident Evil 5 for folks who don't know. How do you get to the volcano?
remember you were fighting Wesker, who's
Yeah.
like getting a jet ready to spread Ouroboros everywhere, and
Yeah.
then like eventually you have to like then Chris gets on the jet, and then like Sheva gets on the jet as well, and then they go off, and they stop the jet from flying out because like they were fighting Wesker in there, and then they open like the back hatch, so like all the air was going down, so it was just like pretty much just gonna crash course, so they just pretty much landed into a volcano.
Okay. Cool. I figured it was something like that. I remember fighting Wesker, and then I remember the volcano, like very distinctly separate from one another. And I'm like, how did these two things meet?
Yeah, that game is like really fun, but super forgettable. I forgot every boss fight in this game. I was like, oh yeah, there's like a giant like lobster crab thing. Like
Yeah.
when you're going down that like on that elevator, and then there's this giant crab thing. You have to like throw grenades into his mouth, and
Oh
then
my
like his
god,
head
I
is to
totally
float.
remember this.
See, exactly. Like I don't remember any of this stuff. So,
Even
I
like that
mean,
first
I've never
boss.
played Resident Evil 5, but that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's Resident Evil 5 is an awesome video game.
it's a really good game.
Like there are people that don't like that game, and it's like I don't understand you.
I mean, I get it, but it's like it's like it's one of those things. It's like it's not what they wanted to be when you had the Resident Evil name to it, but like it's still like a fun game for what it is.
Yeah.
And all the
play-
systems
like,
that it has and everything.
It's like half. It's like a half measure to 6, right? Where 6 is too over the top, and 2 and also plays terribly. Where like this is over the top, but it plays really well, and it's like a great co-op game. So it's like hard to be angry at it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my thing is like at least it plays well and it's fun. Like it's just a fun game.
And like another like really good problem I give to Resident Evil 5 is like even though the story is not good at all and it's pretty much stupid,
Yeah.
Like
It's awesome though.
I mean it's awesome. It's awesome in his way because it's like someone like Chris is like there's not really a love interest. It's just like everything is platonic. Like he's platonic with Sheva, and he's platonic with Jill. Because like they're important to me because they're my partner, and like I care about my partner, and not because I have some crush on Jill or some bullshit like that. This is just like, hey, this girl's like my partner. She's my best friend, and like I trust her with my life as she trusts me with hers. So it's just like we just have so much trust, and it's like that so much deeper of a relationship, kind of like boss. I guess boss. If I want to compare it to something dumb like Boss and Snake from Metal Gear Solid 3, but like it's something beyond like something just like a girlfriend boyfriend thing or something like that. This is like this super trust and just like we're just like good partners.
Something that's like more tangible, I guess you could say.
Yeah, like this is it's honestly something I barely ever see in video games. It's like it's a platonic type of mutual type of thing.
Yeah.
It's not something that had to deal with romance. So it's like, oh, that's actually really cool. Like I should have to get Katie and Mark to play this together. Like I was telling Mark he should get that game just so they could play it together. It's
Mark
like,
Kislin, if you're watching this, you get Resident Evil 5.
he's trying to buy a house now, so he doesn't have time for that right now.
Whatever. Excuse after excuse, I guess.
He doesn't have time for that volcano.
Yeah, that volcano. Punching that boulder. You punch a boulder like a whole bunch in that game,
Mm-hmm.
Frank. If that also makes you want to play it anymore.
Yeah, I mean it appeals to the Minecraft side. Just jump into that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like punching a tree, but it's a boulder, and it doesn't make any sense. Is that scene as ridiculous as I remember it being?
Oh yeah, yes.
Awesome. God, I'm so excited to play that. I just have to finish Resident Evil 6 before that can happen. So,
How far are you as far as that?
It's weird because like we have no idea. Like it's this very kind of like gray area of like we don't know how long this goes. Like I think there are 5 chapters for every character, but they're all so long. Like each chapter is like 2 hours long. So we are like on chapter 3 with all the characters. So I guess maybe we're halfway through. I don't know.
That's weird because that game was so highly regarded. I can't believe that it has like that.
We're scheduled to record some more tomorrow, and if Jacob cancels on me again, I'm gonna fly off to Los Angeles and punch him in the face. I'm gonna climb up his body and punch him. What else have you been playing, Abishin?
A little bit more Overwatch. I just reached level 10 in that, so that's
Cool.
something.
Frank hit
Not level 50 or whatever bullshit everybody else is at, but I just play for what it is and I enjoy it for what it is. I take my sweet time with it and I just have fun with it. I win games.
I just hit level 50 last night.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good moment. I think I'm on like 62 or 63 or something. So.
I'm just gonna get to 69 and then stop playing because I don't even know what else I'm gonna do.
Well, that's pretty much the epitome of where you want to be. So
Yeah.
that's fine.
In life?
In life, you can just stop there. I'll find out on watcher.gg. Excuse me. I'll be right back. Watcher.gg, the secret 5th host of Irrational Passions podcast. Making frequent appearances. Yeah, I'm level 63. So, but 10 ain't nothing. Ain't nothing to be ashamed of. Game's good. You play Ana at all?
That's when she first came out, and then broke the Xbox One.
Yeah, it broke the game. You fire her gun, and like the game crashed or whatever, which is pretty good.
Yeah, that was funny. But they fixed that pretty much like the next day, so it wasn't too bad. But she's cool. I haven't really played her in game though. I'm not really good with snipers. But she seems cool for what she is. So.
Yeah, she's cool. She's got like a lot of tools, which is kind of like what we talked about last week, which is cool.
Mm.
What else?
Is this
She
the first?
seems cool. It's just like I don't really screw with around with like support characters.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if you were there, Alex, but I think you were when we did that all on a round.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that was good. Stupid stuff happens for sure. What were you gonna say, number two?
Yep.
I said, is this the first week that's like Overwatch didn't take like 10 minutes of conversation?
Hey, man.
I'm
I feel
just
like
saying.
we've covered it, and also Tony's not here, so nothing.
It's also my fault.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't have anything else to say besides it's great.
It's super good. It's like such a good game. Like there are major changes coming, which I'm sure we'll talk about when they come out. So there's a new patch coming to consoles soon. So I guess NPC as well. I'm not privy to if it's both or just one or the other. So, but it's still really good. It's still most of what I play, but we haven't gotten to my games yet, also. So maybe I'll have more to talk about.
Okay.
What else, Nabishin?
Pokemon Go, sort of,
Yeah, you
kind of,
started that.
sort of, kind of, because I beat Yellow, like last week. Yeah, I beat Yellow, and yeah, that's pretty much all I have to really say about that. Like I beat Yellow, and then like I went to Gold, and like the thing about my old because it sucks because like my old Gold cartridge, like the battery's completely dead. That's like this is the first game I ever had that like my battery's dead.
Yeah.
That's a cartridge game, so like it's pretty much on all the time, and then I'll just keep it plugged in. So like I'm like 500 hours into the game, but like
Yeah, you are.
I only got my first badge, so I was like, oh okay, so but like Gold is weird. I forgot everything about that game. I forgot you had a cell phone.
Yep.
I forgot like the day and night cycle. I
Yep.
forgot all these things. I'm like,
That was such a
oh,
huge
man.
thing too in Gold and Silver because like different Pokemon would come out at night and stuff.
Mhm.
Because that's when they introduced Espeon and the other evolution. No, Jolteon
Damn it, I forgot.
is one of the original
Yeah.
three. So like
It's
Eevee
Espeon.
and yeah, something. So like depending on if your Eevee evolves at night and is really happy, or it evolves it during the day and it's really happy. So like and
It's
that'll affect
Umbreon.
it. Umbreon, there you go. So yeah,
Sorry, it was bothering me that I couldn't remember.
that's fine.
We all get there, man.
Yeah, the day night stuff is super important. Is it like tied to a real world clock or is it
Yeah,
okay? Yeah, I wasn't sure.
daylight savings and everything.
There you go.
Oh, it was like,
Eastern
man.
Daylight Time.
But yeah, that game's like it's really interesting how much of a jump that game is compared to like the older games. So it's like, huh, that's like, and I loved it at the time, but like I only went through it twice, because of Gold and then playing Silver, or did I get my brother Silver? Yeah, I think I get my brother Silver actually.
Did you play Crystal?
What? No, we stopped there.
Okay, I wasn't.
No,
I love that response. He's like, no.
I mean, Crystal was the third in that series. I didn't know if you'd played that. So
no, we didn't get that. We just pretty much stopped there.
Crystal was big because that was the first game that you could play as a girl. And then they added that in all the later Pokemon games. So yeah, big jumps, man. That jump to Silver, like that's why a lot of people I think call Silver and Gold the best ones for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, it's like this is a game that I just don't remember anymore. So it's
Yeah.
interesting going through it again. Like my total dial's like level 20, and like I haven't leveled up anything else, and that's kind of the thing too, because since I can't save it, is like I'm like barely playing it as much as I probably could or should be playing it, because like it's like I don't know, I always feel like the battery's just gonna like it'll just get unplugged one day, and it's like I don't know. It bothers me. It bothers me that
No,
it's
I'm
still
the
on.
same way.
I'm looking at
Exactly.
it, and it's like, oh, you're still on, and like I can't play you seriously because I can't save you and just go back to you anytime I want to. So
Are you like one of those folks that like gets upset when their game clock gets messed up? Also,
yes.
yeah. So no, I understand. It's one of those other weird things that you and I have in common. So
You want to mention the age thing?
I listen. I haven't brought up the age difference between you and I in like at least 3 months. Give me some credit. You've been playing The Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds,
Sorta.
sort of, kind of.
Keep doing it, please.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Yeah, I got a new 3DS, so I had to play something on it. I
That's
started
right.
playing
That's right.
that.
You got the new Nintendo 3DS. How new does it feel?
It's actually really cool. 3D is actually really cool.
Yeah.
Because it like, actually tracks
That was
and like
fast.
Mhm.
yeah, you actually tracks your head movement, so like you always keep your 3D, so that's actually really good, especially for that game. Um, that's almost essential, I would dare say. Um, but like yeah, it's cool. It's nice and big. Everything transferred over, which I was kind of worried about because I didn't know if my Pokemon saves was going to transfer over.
Mhm.
Because like the bank update's not out yet, and you know I wanted to bring those Pokemon to Sun and Moon. So uh, yeah. So yeah, Link Between Worlds is still great. I still like playing that game a lot. Um, like I only 2 portraits away from going to whatever the next thing is going to be.
Okay.
So I still can't get to the bottom left corner of this
Yep.
of the map for both sides.
Yep.
Which I think is a graveyard. Or maybe I'm thinking 3D Game Hero, so I'm probably
I
thinking
think
about that game.
I think it's the desert. So,
It's something in that corner.
It's
The bottom
something.
left corner I just can't access for whatever reason. But I'm making my way through that game, so
Cool. Had you never finished that game?
no.
Okay. It's good. I think it's got a really good final act. Cool. Is that all you've been playing?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool. Did you get the new Nintendo 3DS XL or just the new one?
The XL.
Okay. Going big. Go big or go
Because
home.
I wanted those things are hard to find, by the way. This is like the new 3DSs in general. I couldn't find it anywhere.
Yeah.
It was like in Toys R Us. That's like the last place it had it because it wasn't in Best Buy, it wasn't in Walmart, it wasn't fucking anywhere. So that was annoying. But that's everything I've been doing.
Cool. So I did a few things. Played a little bit more Fury. Just peeked back into that game. Still stuck on the third boss, so I don't know how long it's going to take me to get through that. But just trying to figure out kind of better. I just have to get good. Is what I'm saying here. A little bit of Pokemon, a little bit of The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess. I finished the Temple of Time dungeon in that game, which is it's very good. It's definitely one of the better dungeons in that game. And there's like actually some clever puzzle solving in that dungeon as well. The We Happy Few trial, Overwatch, of course. Overwatch is just like it for me right now, especially just like this week specifically. I like picked up a whole bunch of extra shifts this week, and I've been like working until 10 p.m. Most of the nights this week. So I would just be able to come home and like I need to play or I want to play something, and I don't want to like get too involved with any one thing. So like nothing really story focused. So I was like, fucking Overwatch, whatever. Frank's always on, so he's just there. Because you
Well,
like
it's not as
working
bad for me.
late, so
Yeah, I like close all the time, but I close at like 10 and I'll be on at like 11 or 12 and it's like 3 in the morning for you.
yeah. And I'm awake because why would I ever sleep?
But I kind of like Overwatch too because it is just kind of like how you were saying. It's not necessarily story driven. Like I could just pop in, do a couple matches, get out, go up a level, open a loot box, talk
Yeah.
with friends.
Precipitous drop in competitive level though. Real fucked the goose on that one, huh? Just went down from like 45 to like 39, and now I'm like back up to 41, I think. and it's just like on a rough spot. I'm just like not winning anything, and I feel like they made it harder to go up rank. But I've been playing like a few different, like I've been playing a whole lot more Tracer recently, which has been like awesome. A lot of good matches with her, and Reinhardt had a few good like sessions with him as well. Still trying to like the newer, like the character I've played the least that I've been trying the most recently is probably McCree. I've been trying to get okay with him, but I'm terrible with him. So bad at using his ultimate. So, but yeah, that game just brings me great joy. So all the loot boxes. As far as new things, just to I finished. I tied the bow on my most recent playthrough, Persona 4 Golden.
Yay.
I like sat down on, I think it was Sunday. And I was like, man, I want to play a JRPG. And I'm such a fucking weirdo. It's like,
And I don't
man,
want that thing. I got shrink wrapped in my room.
yeah, not Tokyo Mirage Session. Well, like it literally is like I want to
It's
play
the
something.
same game.
I want to play
I
something.
don't want to play knockoff Persona.
That's true. Anyway. I don't know if I'll like Tokyo Mirage Session. It's still shrink wrap. So anyway, it's the thing of I want to play a JRPG, and I have like Tales of Zestiria and Tokyo Mirage Session. It's like these
Okay,
games.
hold on. Just
Okay.
take a step back for a second.
Okay.
You want to play one RPG, and that's Persona.
Well, no. Again, this is me going through my thought process here. I want to play a JRPG, but I don't want to play a new JRPG because like I don't know if I'm gonna get what like I'm hungering for out of it. This is why I'm such a fucking weirdo. So I want to play something that I've already played before. And I was like, for some weird reason, I was like, man, I really want to play Tales of Symphonia. And I'm like, oh god, I'm such an animal. And I'm like, well, I started Persona 4 Golden and I didn't finish it yet. And I wanted to finish, like, just do a complete new playthrough and finish it. So I'm like, I can't start anything else new until I finish that. So I went back, booted it up, and in 2 sessions, I finished it, got the true ending, did the epilogue, fucking cried my eyes out. God, I was just sitting here sobbing on this very
No,
couch.
dude, that ending theme music when you're like getting on the train,
Oh.
so sad, hits you right in
Dude.
the feelings.
It was like, you know, it's been a while since I like seen the epilogue and everything, which I've only ever seen the one time, now twice. But like going back and seeing like the video, like the ending video where you're leaving, and like seeing like not just one person is crying, like everyone is crying, like quietly, like tears streaming down their face at the very least. And I was just like, I couldn't take it. Like seeing like when the door closes and like Yukiko just starts crying, I'm like, oh no, and I'm sobbing. I'm just like a fucking mess. And like they don't even give you any time to breathe because I'm sitting there like gasping for air, and then like the epilogue starts, and I'm like, oh god, okay, I have something. And then it shows that the picture at the end. Just oh god, destroyed me. It was a good thing though. It was very good. God, it was like I went upstairs. And I was just thinking to myself, like, no game is ever gonna be this good. Like, it's so weird because putting a bow on that and wrapping it up, and like, and I tweeted about it when I had finished. Like, that is like the quintessential Alex O'Neil game. It has literally everything I like about video games in it, like all of my favorite things. So yeah, that game is phenomenal, as I've spoken about before. Go ahead, Frank.
But so like I played it for the first time last year, at the beginning of last year, and then I did my New Game Plus run with like the golden ending, and like I saw everything, like I did everything in that one run earlier this year, a couple months ago, and like I just like I love that game so much. Like I know exactly what you're talking about, like the ending scene, and like I'm legitimately worried that like about Persona 5, not that it'll be bad, but I'm like it can't be this good.
Yeah, I mean like that's. And it was a weird thing that I kind of accepted a while ago. Like Persona 5 might be better or worse, but it like at its core, I know it'll be different because I went from Persona 3 to 4, And it's very like if I had to list off all of my favorite games ever, it would be Persona 4, then Persona 3, probably. Um, and it's not like they're both really really amazing and mean a lot to me in different ways, but like they're just different things. Like Persona, like going through the final boss of Persona 4 Golden again. I was like, I was because I had recently played Persona 3 Fez through kind of earlier last year. I was thinking like, man, like this is so different. Like this is like on a different scale than what they were going for, and it's about different things. Like you're tackling yourself and kind of like the fault of man in a different way. And for folks that have played the game, that'll make sense. But
Stakes
like,
definitely
I
seem
haven't
a little
played it
bit
yet.
more bigger in 3 than it does in 4. In,
oh,
a,
yeah,
in, a,
it's-
in a different type of way.
Stakes in 3 are crazy. But like at the end of 3, like I'm thinking like, oh yeah, you like fly into the moon at some point. It's fucking crazy. Whereas like 4, it's like in the grand scheme of things, we're talking about like this one town.
It's very much more grounded.
Yeah, exactly, and it makes it more relatable. And I think they knew that going in, and that's why like most of the focus is like on these characters that are really, really relatable. So everything is more grounded. Of like, oh, like accepting who you are, even for like the bad parts. It's like, okay, this is a story that anyone can kind of get into. Whereas 3 was a much more the melodramatic JRPG story, and it's great, and its characters are still great and relatable in a lot of ways. But it definitely loses sight of some of what makes like the format of that game special, like the social links and like bonding yourself to other characters, like what makes that special. And 4 doesn't. So like they're different things, and I love them both like nearly equally, but just like one resonated with me a little bit more. But like if you would ask me in 2009 after I played 3 and I'd started playing 4, I'd still probably say like, oh, I like 3 more. So 5 is coming to me. It's coming to a lot of folks like later in life, and it's going to be different. Like going back to high school for folks like for me. So I don't know. Like it's a different thing. It's its own thing. That's like I'm not expecting it to be better. I'm just expecting it to be its own thing of that same quality. So.
Oh, show.
And I
I
think
played it
that's.
too, by the way.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, like I just fired up my save. I played it for like maybe 3 hours yesterday.
Okay.
Now and then I realized, oh, I'm missing one in the book, so I have to fucking go back to one of my old saves.
Yeah.
So because I'm still trying to get that platinum, so
Yeah.
I get all those books.
No, I'm trying to get the platinum too.
Yeah. I've finished it, and I was like, okay, I finished the save. Can kind of like put this to rest. Let me boot up my my almost done New Game Plus save, and I'm so close. Like, I'm real close. And it's funny because I was going through the social links and I missed 2. I didn't finish 2 social links.
That's how it was when my last playthrough when I was
Yeah.
so close to getting all the social links, and it was like maybe like 2 of them I didn't.
It was-
finish. And they were on 9, so like it was like there. But
It was the Fox was on 9, and then I was on like 3. And I'm like, fuck, I was so close. Yeah, so I'm just gonna like do another playthrough and just blast through that game, I think. And
I can't play games like that. Well, he's not a game like that.
I mean, like it because I've done it so recently. Like I don't feel as bad about doing it. Like that's why I wanted to do this kind of full playthrough first. But yeah, and I also missed 1 book in this other playthrough. Fucking bullshit.
My first playthrough, I only missed 1 book, and I wasn't following like any guides or anything. And my second playthrough, following a guide, I still missed the same book, so I fucked it up again.
Yeah.
And I need to go through. I need to get all the hardcore to fight Margaret, and that's like the only 3 trophies I have left because I screwed up the Margaret thing too.
Yeah, the one thing I didn't do with the Margaret thing was like you have to go back in the Velvet Room to talk to her. I didn't. And I was like, fuck.
No, yeah, that's what I screwed up. Like I didn't talk to her, and I had a save that was like the next day before you had like that you have to do it, and I was like, God damn it.
Yeah. But that's it. That's it for Persona 4 Golden. The game's phenomenal. It was a nice little reminder. Like few games end as well as that game did. Like it's very rare to get as satisfying like an ending as like that game hit. So like that's also something to be commended for. And I love a good fucking sappy, happy-go-lucky, happy ending. And like seeing all the characters like grow and change a little bit and change with the seasons is just right in the heartstrings. Um, the only other thing I've been playing is Hyper Light Drifter, which I picked up last night. Came out this past Tuesday on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. I bought it on Xbox One because it was $5 off there. It's really good. Like, as far I only played about an hour of it, but as far as getting a first impression, it is very much that Zelda meets Dark Souls that when I'd played it years ago at this point, or at least 2 years ago. It's kind of what I wanted it to be. It like it's the top down kind of screen by screen vibe of like a Zelda A Link to the Past style. But with that, you have these kind of healing flasks that you have to use. Enemies are very tough. It's very animation based and dodge focus as far as like kind of attacking and fighting enemies. It's cool. Like it's very interesting in that game. Like not a single word is spoken and not any text is written. Right. Like when you talk to NPCs, like they'll convey to you what they want or what they think you should do by like an image popping up on screen, and like you're going through like a small slideshow of images showing characters going through something. I'm like, this is such a weird, cool way to do this. And like sometimes you'll go up to like an enemy and they'll speak in gibberish, and like that's it. That's like all there is to it. Or like there's this person because there's like a little town in the center of the map with a bunch of NPCs in it, which I'm like, I didn't even know this game had other characters. But you go into one. It's like a sword dojo where you can learn new abilities, and like there's no text to go along with any of it. It's just like a little video showing you what the ability does, and like a picture of the person that teaches it to you. It's like this is a really interesting approach to like that kind of minimalist world building, and I really like it. It works really well. That and the pixel art and the just like the way the scenes kind of unfold themselves is phenomenal. But yeah, I wish I had more to say about that. I'm just gonna, I think, sink my teeth into it. Hopefully, on Monday and Tuesday when I have some time off. But so far as first impressions go, it's very very good. Like it just feels really really good. But that's it for video games. So how about we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we got some news to talk about. We'll take a peek into the mail sack. And that'll be the show. So we will be back in just a little bit.
Choo choo choo.
Choo choo choo. Thank you, Trevor, for telling us that it was Umron. Let me tweet out questions.
Still in plain sight.
I know. The guilt is building now.
It's gonna be your transistor for this year.
I better not be, because if I don't play that, I'm gonna be furious at myself.
I bought it on a flash sale like a couple weeks ago, and I got to like a level and a half in. I think like I have like 2 trophies in it, and I just can't bring myself to go back to it.
For Inside?
Transistor.
Oh, okay.
I'm
like, I like it.
confused.
It's cool.
I heard 3 different games. 3 different games, and I don't know what we're talking about.
It's all right, Scott. You don't have to know what we're talking
No, you're talking about relevant stuff here.
about. Hashtag IPQ.
Game of the year.
Game of the year. IPQ is the game of the year every year.
God damn it.
For folks watching the video, if you'd like to have questions answered, you can tweet them at IrrationalPod with hashtag IPQ. We'll answer them in the mail sack. I'm going to go take a pee break. I will be right back.
Same. I will. I just want it to be known. I will only answer questions about balls.
Yeah, the tweets only about balls. Weirdly enough.
I mean, people know me.
We're talking about the soda company, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I don't know what else you could confuse that with. I don't know what you're on about.
Well, it's the
Just
only balls I.
hey man, balls are just a refreshing taste in your mouth.
That's what I'm saying. That's what we keep telling the kids. Don't take that in context.
It's why we're not allowed to do our traveling roadshow at schools anymore.
Exactly.
We have the the like PlayStation Road to Greatness or whatever. We have that, but for balls, we have like a semi truck that goes around.
Yeah.
And that's
Fair
all it
enough.
does. It doesn't. We don't stop and do anything. We just drive around, and it just says balls on the side.
Hashtag balls. To the
We're
walls.
trying to do like the Oscar Mayer like has a hot dog thing. We're trying to get that for like a can of balls.
Or just like a big old scrote.
I mean, you know,
Keep your options open.
yeah, exactly. I mean, once we get that talking balls money going, we're gonna have like we're gonna be millionaires.
Yeah, that Patreon money.
One of my favorite things about the balls thing too, at least saying about it on this podcast, is that like everyone else has no idea what the hell is going on.
I mean, how could you expect them to keep up with the majestic glory of balls?
I mean, I expected them to follow my Twitter account, but then that got shut down.
Brought to you by balls.
Yep. I mean, I was actually working on a ad copy at one point for balls, and I was kind of like, what am I doing with my life?
You're living it, Frank. All right.
The highlights were reusing my balls as a refreshing taste in your mouth joke. I've been
Yeah.
making that joke for a little while now. And then it was also that you can get your ball sacks available now.
Tweet your questions at IrrationalPod with the hashtag IPBalls.
Balls on IP on balls.
Yeah, excuse me. IP on balls. Now machine you back?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's do this. News in gaming. Let's talk about some news. Life is Strange is getting adapted into a live action thing, which is cool, I guess.
I guess.
I guess. Depending on like how angsty it is. So
You can do a commentary with Jacob and Jared in the same room.
Oh my god, that'd be so good. Jared doesn't even like Life is Strange.
I know, that's the whole point. It'll be
Yo.
the equalizer.
We'll fly him out. Fly Jacob out. So it's a quote unquote digital series. That'll it sounds like be in the same format as like a TV show, even though it sounds like it won't actually be on TV. And it's being produced by Legendary Digital Studios. And Square Enix is obviously partnering with them. The quote I have here from Greg Siegel, Senior VP of Development for Legendary Studio. I think this is him saying this. Sounds right. Oh no, it's John Brook, VP of Brand and European Marketing at Square Enix. Quote is, Life is Strange is one of those rare properties that combines incredibly developed characters and storylines with deeply engaging gameplay. That is Siegel. It lends itself perfectly to live-action imaginings. We couldn't be more excited to partner with Square Enix, Stonod Entertainment, and DJ2 to bring the world of Arcadia Bay to life in an exciting new way. And then John Brook from Square Enix said, we're proud and excited to be working alongside Legendary to realize a new version of Arcadia Bay and Blackwell Academy, complete with our rich cast of realistic, believable characters and memorable events. So that sounds cool. Writer and director has not been announced. Don't know if that's been decided yet, so we don't really have an idea of how far off this is. But we announced or we talked about a couple weeks ago. Life is Strange episode 1 is free for everyone. So if you're curious about it, you can go give it a shot and kind of get an idea of what the series is about. But
I mean, episode one's definitely like I think the highlight.
do you think so?
I mean, yeah, because like I don't love Life is Strange,
Mm-hmm.
but I definitely did enjoy it, and I was definitely like, as it kind of went on, like episode one was the hype for me, and then as it went on, like, and I didn't like episode five that much,
Mm-hmm.
but like definitely there's twists in there, and I wanted to know what was happening, and like kind of cared about like some of the characters. Like I definitely don't think it was awful. I just didn't like love it.
Yeah. I definitely was a huge fan. I think maybe episode 3 was my favorite, or was at least the highlight. They
Mm.
were all I really loved them all. So, but yeah, just the roller coaster ride. Holy shit, man.
I feel like if I played them again, maybe under some different conditions than I played them the first time, I might like it better.
I liked that. That is a game that I actually really liked playing as it came out. As far as episodic
Mm.
games are concerned.
Like
'Cause
we should tell Tony since he's playing. He said he has the first episode and he already bought the thing, so like he hasn't played like in a month again.
Yeah.
So he tell him to play episode 2 now,
Yeah, now you're ready for episode 2.
and then like tell him to wait for a whole month and then play episode 3.
Yeah. Like I don't know, like the cliffhangers were definitely like in a lot of cases that game is very emotionally devastating. And it doesn't hold back. So I think like the kind of moments away from it definitely help with what it's trying to do. Like the end of episode 2 is like super heavy and the end of episode 3 is like also super heavy. Yeah, it helped a lot, the distance.
But yeah, like I think if I
Go ahead, sorry. Are you dead, Frank? Did I kill you? Oh, Frank froze. Or I froze.
It's Frank.
Okay, cool. I can't ever know.
Frank.
He'll just his computer exploded, shut down. Well, until his internet connects back. Adam Boyes, who had left Sony a few weeks ago, has officially announced that he is joining Iron Galaxy as the CEO.
Huh.
Adam Boy is kind of known as one of those people, third-party relations, right? As part of Sony, he would get out there and help bring independent developers and other third parties onto their platforms, help get exclusive deals as far as that was concerned. So him joining up with Iron Galaxy to hopefully them kind of expanding into more of a publishing role and trying to get into things like that is definitely a big get. It's a big move. For folks who are fans of Giant Bomb, they'll know that Adam Boyes and Dave Lang, who is the previous CEO, now C3PO, which I guess is his official title, are like they're old friends. So them kind of rejoining forces it's cool. So definitely going to make the next year's E3 live stream for Giant Bomb very interesting. But yeah, that's cool. Iron Galaxy could be a publisher to be reckoning with soon, which I think is cool. I feel like we talked about it a little bit last week, so I know you missed it in Option, but like how Telltale published that kind of survival game and how they might be trying to become like a more low tier publisher, which is cool.
What game?
What's it? 7 Days to Die, I think it's called.
Oh,
like
that game that came out. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
No
like
one
a survival
really talked
game.
about it, so I didn't know it was them.
Yeah, Ben had played it. I got an email about it. It was like, oh, Telltale's publishing this weird game. They didn't had like nothing to do with the making of this game. They're just publishing it. So maybe Telltale could be at least trying to get more into publishing. So like that middle tier publisher coming back means there would be more of those kind of B tier games that people talk about don't exist anymore. So that's cool.
I wonder what. I feel that having Adam there is them just like getting ready to like do a game for themselves. Like the first one's just Racketeer, I guess it would be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll do their own thing, and like I just don't know what that game would be since that studio is so diverse and like so many things. So
yeah, like they've done fighting, they've done things like Racketeer. You know, who knows? and yeah, like I don't know, as far as like them being like a port house or a publishing house, I'd be curious to see what they would develop at this point. There's definitely a lot of talent there. I don't know. It's exciting. It's cool. New folks on the horizon. Pac-Man Championship Edition 2
Mm-hmm.
announced coming out this September. Looks awesome. I'm a big fan of not Pac-Man Championship Edition, but Pac-Man Championship Edition DX.
Yep.
Which I like. I never played the original Championship Edition, but I know a lot of people like it.
That's Scott's Brownlee's jam.
Yeah, I just like I got super into DX because it's so fast. That was actually a game that me and my roommate would sit down and play and pass a controller and try and get high scores on. Like as far as like score chasing goes, which like Scott said last week is mostly dead. Like that was the one game that really brought it back for me, which I thought was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna text Frank and see if he died.
No, I already tweeted him. He said he's got some connection issues. He'll be back in a second.
Okay, cool. But yeah, like the second one looks awesome. Giant ghosts popping up from the background to the foreground to everything in between. I don't know. It looks really cool. Just like what they've done with Pac-Man, that series Namco has. It's just really cool. I'm excited. It's in the vein of like the Sonic Mania thing, except this is more like flashing lights and very neon, very newish, new look at the very least.
It's amazing how some of these things are still being relevant. Like you could say whatever you want about Sonic, but like the fact that you can even talk about him in this day and age is like an amazing thing. And Pac-Man being as old as he is, and him having new games and them still being good and relevant now, it's really amazing. And like Mario has like the main talk about old things that's still relevant today, but like even like I said, Sonic and Pac-Man for even have a discussion about them in 2016, and it's like shows how much pull, how much of the zeitgeist that they have. So.
Yeah, it's true. And like it also I think speaks to the impact that they had initially. Like those characters were a big deal. It's like something like Crash Bandicoot definitely is a similar thing, right? Like a lot of people have a lot of high regards for those games, but it's not on that scale, right?
Uh-huh.
And Mario obviously is still huge, always will be huge. It's gonna be theme parks for Mario soon, but like he so quickly became something along the lines of Mickey Mouse, like a mascot in a lot of ways.
Uh-huh.
Whereas I think Sonic and Pac-Man can still exist as like not necessarily a mascot, even though Sonic is in a lot of cases, but Pac-Man for sure. Like Pac-Man, I would not consider Namco's mascot, but he's definitely the most mascot-like character they have. It's just Pac World, that weird 3D Pac-Man.
Are you good, Frank?
Hey, welcome back, Frank. Are you dead? Are you dead, Frank? Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we can't hear him. Maybe the ghost is still alive. Hi, I'm gonna type into the chat. Hi, Frank. Heart. I like that the hearts on the Google chat like flip and turn into little hearts there.
It's your soul.
Yeah, exactly.
Been thinking about that again.
No. We're gonna...
like I told you, those 3 games. I can't stop thinking about those 3 games.
Yeah, that's fair.
Last year was real good.
Yeah. We got some good questions for IPQ. I'm looking at them right now. Hey, I don't have sound, so I'm working on it. You can try refreshing Google Hangout. I don't know if you can hear us.
Maybe you should type it.
You can try refreshing. That's not how you spell refreshing. On Google Hangout. Boom. looking at this next news story. I hope I got all my facts straight. But I like these pictures too. We're about to get into some NX stuff, Scott. So prepare yourself.
Will do.
I know you're throwing up your X's in your heart and soul, left and right.
Well, do you remember what we predicted, or what I specifically predicted about the
I don't
NX?
remember anything we've ever talked about, Scott.
That's fantastic because neither do I.
Cool. There he goes. He's refreshing. No emails. Hey, folks watching, you should send us emails sometime.
Okay, that's a lie. I'm
It's
starting to
coming back
remember.
to you?
It's starting to a little bit.
We're hitting total recall on this one. Girl, if Frank comes back with
Come
three
on,
boobs.
come on. You gotta remember, this is more important than the VGAs.
Maybe it'll come back to me when we start talking about it. It's so weird, like I did Alex Plays Zelda like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And now I'm like getting things like, hey, we just want to let you know Nintendo is monetizing this. It's like getting notifications is late. Hi, Frank.
What's up?
Hey, we can
There
hear
you
you.
are.
Sorry about all that.
No worries, it happens. Are you still recording?
Yeah, I didn't stop it the whole time, so there's just a lot of random dead air.
That's right. You did have to go through that to put those up, didn't you?
Yeah. I mean, like it's happening now, years later. I knew I couldn't monetize them or anything. It's just weird. All right, strap in. This is our final news story. So Eurogamer.net supposedly got some information about Nintendo's upcoming NX, their platform, their hardware. So let's kind of go through this, and then maybe we can talk about it afterwards. We've talked a lot about the NX in the past. Strap in, Frank. The NX will be a portable platform, a handheld console, with detachable controller modules on the left and right sides of the screen. So, like, these would theoretically be able to be replaced with other kinds of controllers. I don't necessarily know what they're going for with that. Eurogamer has kind of like a mock-up on their website. When you get home with your portable, obviously you're out, you're partying, it's fine. When you get home, you'll be able to connect this into your TV. And that's like it. It sounds like the way this reads to me is that it doesn't like necessarily it plugs into a dock station, but it doesn't necessarily get more powerful and switch from handheld mode to TV mode, like kind of some of the speculation was originally. It's just that like it goes into the dock station to charge, and then it outputs to the TV into like a controller instead of like on the actual device. Digital Foundry, who we referenced earlier, is a kind of subsidiary of Eurogamer, apparently did a deep dive on some of the chips that Nintendo might be using for this platform, and like the speculation is it's NVIDIA's Tegra mobile processor. But it sounds like they're not like 100% sure on that. Eurogamer seems pretty confident in like, hey, this is a handheld that'll be able to plug into the TV and has these kind of modular controller designs. But the as far as like the actual hardware of, hey, it's using this chip, not as 100% sure on that. Another part of that, part of this kind of report is that the NX will use physical media like cartridges. And this kind of corroborates apparently a registration that had happened a little while ago where Nintendo had registered the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild trademark with like a cartridge. So this would be like a cartridge-based thing. They'd be 32 gigabyte cartridges, which is small compared to like 50 gigabyte Blu-rays, which most PS4 or Xbox One games use. But like there's definitely downloads and other things to compound those 50 gigabytes. So most games are still more than 50 gigabytes in some way. No, I think that's it as far as like hard reporting. Everything else looks like it's more speculation. But and the one thing was that this wouldn't run on Android. That was another rumor that was out there. The NX would run on some form of Android OS, but it would have its own kind of proprietary OS, just like all other Nintendo platforms. So what do we think about this, Scott?
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I don't know. I very rarely think what you think, Scott.
Well, you see, you keep pointing to me, like specifically me, for a reason that I don't know why.
I mean, I'm just
So
curious.
I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing at this point.
I'm just curious what you think.
Right now, I'm not thinking to anything but the. Didn't we say that this would be the next logical step
Totally.
for them to do?
Yeah, like follow up to the 3DS and not necessarily the Wii U.
That and like the hybrid system that we were talking about some time ago.
Yeah.
So essentially, we called it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, assuming this is
true.
Assuming
it's true.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Like, I actually really like the idea of this. I don't know about all you guys, but like, and listening to like the Bombcast or watching.
Well, I mean, yeah. When we were talking about this, way back when, most of those things partially come from wishful thinking.
Yeah. This is the dream, right? The Nintendo dream. My Nintendo dreams.
Pretty much.
Well, like on the Bombcast, Jeff Grossman brought up, and I really liked this point of like, if like let's say they kind of phase out their home hardware in favor of like a handheld that can also plug into the TV, right? And it's like, assume it's like a powerful handheld that's not, judging by the sounds of this, it wouldn't quite be PS4, Xbox One strength. Not that it necessarily needs to be, but like, if all of Nintendo's different software development teams consolidated to just be making games for one platform, like they have, if you look at their like list of games that have come out since the Wii U, it's like, okay, they've got like not a whole lot for the Wii U, but like some really great ones. But if you incorporate like all the games that have come out for 3DS in there as well, that's a whole lot of video games. So like if both their like handheld development teams and their console development teams were like all working for the same hardware, like they would be able to put out games at a much faster clip. And it would make a lot more sense for them. So if this is like truly something that can plug in the TV, still look great, take on the go, still look great, and feel great, like because it's just the same hardware, that makes a lot of sense. Like Nintendo as like a, hey, you buy this system for Nintendo games, like would be able to put out so many fucking Nintendo games for that system, which is cool. I actually really like that idea. What do you think?
I mean, I think it's a good idea. I mean, like, and I've been hearing, like, I remember watching this Inside Gaming Daily, like, 3 years ago that had this rumor that it was a hybrid and it was more powerful than a PS4 and it had, like, TV capabilities.
Yeah.
And I just remember being like, the Nintendo back then, I remember them being like, all right, that's not going to happen.
Oh, yeah, no, it's definitely not going to happen. Yeah. Not with all that.
Well, basically, like, my reaction to that was like, all right, that's cool, so Nintendo's not going to do it.
Yeah.
And like ever since then, the rumors have just intensified about this like hybrid, and I definitely do think it's a great idea. And even if it's not insanely powerful and has TV and stuff, like I still think it's a good idea because like I heard that same thing you were talking about when he said that about how like the like distance between Mario Kart on the Wii and then the 3DS and then the Wii U was really long. But if they didn't have that, like how different it would be because they didn't have to make different versions. And how like Smash Bros would be if there wasn't two different versions of Smash Bros. Like there was just one.
Yeah.
We would have ice climbers.
Yeah, we could finally have ice climbers.
Exactly. The technology will finally be there to put ice climbers.
Finally, we'll be able to put a GameCube together and make ice climbers work in a video game. Yeah, like it definitely makes a lot of sense. And I don't know, like you look at like Nintendo's like doing so well in the handheld department, right? like obviously 3DS sales are kind of stagnating at this point, because it's been out for like what that came out in 2010. The 3DS did 2011, I guess.
It was the year I went to MGC, so I
It
say
came out in the U.S. in 2011.
2011.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's 11.
Yeah, and it came out in Japan in 2000, either like a month before then or in like late 2010. Because I remember it was after we started the podcast. So that was 5 years ago, right? You can think like, okay, 3DS had its run, great run, coming to an end. Like, yeah, I'm sure they're thinking about the success of their handhelds, but like the 3DS did so well, even if it had like a really rough start too. Like, and it ended up selling like incredibly well, not as well as the DS, but that's like the second best-selling platform, like video game platform ever. So, what you gonna do, I guess. um, so like the 3DS did so well, and like the Wii did great, but the Wii U didn't, whatever, hit or miss. But they do, they could consolidate those two platform ideas and make this makes so much sense, like from a financial standpoint. What do you think, Nabishan?
This pretty much goes in line with what I was thinking they would do, or at least I was more or less hoping they would do.
Yeah.
It's just focus on themselves and don't really focus on not really being not having competition or something like that, but like like focus on your strengths and like do what's best for your company by like focus. Look, what people don't buy Nintendo consoles for The Witcher 3 or GTA because those are, guess what, they're not going to be on NX.
Yeah.
More or less.
But Sonic 2017 will be.
Yeah. So
If I pre-order it, do I get a chili dog?
Yeah, absolutely.
But
That's a deep cut. Go ahead, Nabishan. Sorry.
But yeah, like I just think they're doing all the right things. Like and like I was saying before, like anyone expecting like this to be like something like radically different as far as like like, oh, Nintendo's finally gonna get online, and Nintendo's gonna have like industry leading chips, and like it's gonna look better than the PS4 and the Xbox One.
It's gonna have all those flops.
Like like I said, like they don't really need all that. All they have to do is focus on their gameplay and focus on what makes them good. Like I still say this, like people who have a Wii U and like enjoy Nintendo games for the Nintendo games, they enjoyed the system and they enjoyed it, and it was money. It was worth the money for that because that's all it is for. It's not for playing Watch Dogs on your Wii U. And anyone who thought they did, you bet on the wrong horse as far as that.
I bought a Wii U in 2012 for Yoshi's Woolly World, and I didn't even know it at the time. Life changer.
But it's just like I have high hopes for the NX, but I also just have like no faith in Nintendo whatsoever.
I mean,
that's like everybody can like what they like, but like the Wii U just like didn't do it for me. I've been like talking shit on it since it came out.
Yeah.
And
Rightfully so.
And it's just like it just wasn't for me, and like. And I have high hopes for it, and like the NX, and I imagine it'll be like this dream revolutionary thing, and like everything we've ever wanted. And I just know it's going to come out, and I feel like it's not going to be that.
I mean, like if it's a great platform to play Nintendo games, like
that's more than enough of that.
Yeah, that's like more than the Wii U in a lot of ways. Like the Wii U has a lot of great Nintendo games, but it's not like a great platform to play Nintendo games in a lot of regards.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be like a step up. But like like I love the idea personally of like I play my Vita TV more than I play my Vita, just because like half the time like I would rather just like play on my TV. This is just something about me. Like I go through fits and spurts of like handheld games, and like sure I love playing Spelunky on the go on my Vita, but like something like Persona 4 Golden or like Gravity Rush, if I ever play it, which I probably won't, but sorry, Nelson. Or like
bro.
But like that's like stuff I really like to play. Would prefer to play on like a TV. And just having the option whenever, like just it's not like we had talked about like the hybrid console of like a dock station or being able to transfer saves or whatever. It's not like that. It's just like you're playing on the TV and you just unplug it from the TV and then it doesn't change the save state or whatever. You just keep going.
Yeah.
It's just super nice. It's like the idea of a Vita with just an HDMI port on the top where you just plug it in and then turn on the Bluetooth to sync a controller to it. It's kind of like that idea.
And it doesn't have to go through the identity crisis like the Vita had with like putting console experience on your handheld and like it's like why would I want to do that? And
Yeah.
like the only thing I'm just curious about now, just like controller wise, because if you think about it, it's just Zelda Breath of the Wild is gonna be on that system. It's like it's gonna have like pretty much everything that a Wii U tablet already has on it. So is it basically just that just thinner and smaller?
Maybe. Like, the mock-up that Eurogamer has is like it looks a lot like a gamepad. But where like the two controllers on the side, like the analog stick and the D-pad on the left side, and then the analog stick and the face buttons on the right side just slot off. And I'd be curious, like, if it does have like this modular controller system where they can come off and you can like theoretically put something else on there. What else could you put on there? What kind of other controller things? Like, that's an interesting gimmick. Like, it's a gimmick that I'm less opposed to because it's like still kind of button focused. It's not necessarily touchscreen focused or whatever.
Well, it's kind of like the Wii like controllers. You could like they had all those like accessories where you could like put it in a tennis racket or like put it in a gun.
Yeah. Hopefully, it's
but
a
maybe
bit
like
deeper than
better.
That, yeah. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. And there was one other part of this that I did not mention.
Backwards compatibility?
No, I didn't. I don't think that's in the Eurogamer article. I mean, it was rumored it would be revealed in September. But there was like one other thing I totally forgot. And I
But
don't
it's
like.
not supposed to be backwards compatible, apparently. Which is I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was backwards compatible.
I wouldn't be surprised, but
I don't know how it would work necessarily. If like where would you put a disc?
I would be happier like almost if it wasn't, because like I think might be one of the more drawbacks to like the Wii U is that it has like a Wii in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like it could be good for them to just cut it and be like, we're just gonna move on from here, and they could put stuff on like the store, but
it'd be cool if like your digital games went forward.
yeah,
like that for the first time, so you don't have to buy it for like the eighth time. Like it'd be nice.
The biggest thing is like they're at least linking all your purchases together with their Nintendo Network ID now. Like they have that in the background that's been happening. So if you could like feasibly not have to rebuy your Virtual Console games, I'm sure you will, but
oh, you totally will. You fucking have to do that with the new 3DS.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't get any discount for buying Super Mario Kart, even though I had that 3 times already. But whatever.
Yep. So like, it would be great if they could incorporate it, and I know they would get like a bunch of like good vibes for it. But yeah, it's not even like a thing of like that they don't want to do it. It's part they don't have to do it, thus the mini NES that's coming out. But also that I don't know if they have the infrastructure on their back end to do it. Like I don't know if things are like it. I imagine it's similar to the PSN where everything like behind the scenes is just on fire.
Yeah, exactly. It's like just together.
In Nintendo's case, it's probably not on fire, but just not much to look at.
Yeah, it's just like horribly unorganized and it's like.
Like not even unorganized. It's like the PSN networks would look like a full server room, but it's just constantly on fire. The Nintendo server room would look like my home computer, and that would be it.
Yeah,
just alone in a giant room.
One PC and like a small desk.
Yeah, it's like a
huge room.
Somebody's playing games on it all the time.
Apple II.
Yeah. Somebody's just like using an emulator to run Super Mario World on it. It's like, what the fuck is happening back here?
I mean, it's not on fire.
Yeah, at least.
But I mean, like.
Go ahead, Nabishin.
So you think Nintendo's gonna go the route with like pretty much current gen gaming is right now, is doing a bunch of remasters?
I don't know.
Because like Splatoon has a community, they could bring over Smash and just remaster that.
I mean, there were like the speculation. I don't know if it was speculation or rumors or whatever of like that the Wii U would launch or the NX would launch with a bunch of Wii U games ported to it, like Smash Brothers, and basically like revitalizing those as new platforms to release new DLC for them going forward.
Hmm.
Which I mean, it's weird because like the thing is like with something like Smash Brothers, I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to it. Like bring it there because this one's really good, right? Bring it there with all the characters, and then be like, and we're gonna add more characters to this now that it's on a new hardware platform going forward, and maybe add like a few stuff to the release. Um,
I think it would be good for them to do. Like, I don't know if they will, but I think it'd be good for them to do, especially because it's like, hey, like you love Splatoon, like here's all these new people that you get to play with,
yeah,
or like here's like it's basically like if they launch and they're like, here's all these good games that like most people haven't played.
yeah, it's the thing. It burns the folks that have the NX, but in the grand scheme of things, like this, it's like a super small number,
Yeah,
and it might get people to buy this new platform. But I don't know. It like again, the most exciting thing is the idea that the 3DS teams out there and the Wii U teams and like the console teams are all consolidating and they're just building games for one platform. Like, because like Retro, for example, has never made a handheld game, and the folks what make like Level 5 have never made a Wii U game. Not that I know of, right? They've only ever made
Oh,
3DS games.
wait, what?
Like Level 5, just to use an example. That's a third party, but now like they can all have like equal share of this platform. And like, that was the other thing. Like the 3DS has really good, or not like I wouldn't say substantial, but like really quality third party games on it. So you might actually pull third party support from folks that were used to making handheld games. So I don't know. Food for thought. But yeah, that's it for news. How about we take a peek in the mail sack? We have a voicemail. Do you want to listen to that?
Yeah.
Show?
Oh, sorry. I plugged in my phone. Makes that big old crackling noise. I just like unlocked my phone, and the first thing that popped up was a written but not sent message to Frank saying, "Did you die?" uh, so there you go. Let's see.
I just would have replied and been like, yes.
Yes, balls, all caps.
Oh, God, I'm exhausted.
Hi, Silver PR.
Oh, what a fucked up week. What was I? Oh, yeah. Oh, what up, guys? So we are here. I hope everybody's doing all good and well. Me, pretty much sums it up in the beginning. So, yeah, woo, spirits up high. Nothing relevant to talk about video games. Same old. And Tony invited me to fight, but I wasn't available. So sorry about that, Tony. Hopefully we can spar a little bit unofficially.
You were scared,
Fights unofficially, because it's not the official grudge match exhibition that I want to have with you. But yeah, but let's just, you know what? Let's just Netflix and chill, because I've seen a couple things.
Alright.
Instead of playing games, mostly in the week, I'm been watching stuff. So let's go to a couple things. First of all, Case Closed or Detective Conan. Yeah, some anime. It's been a while since I sit around and watching anime. I haven't had a chance to watch anime since my kid got born. So, and Netflix has a couple of collection episodes of the series, not pretty much in chronological order, I think. But you know, their cases. Detective Conan is pretty much a set of individual stories, cases, and mysteries and whatnot, and I'm enjoying those. Also, I watched a while back. I watched Voltron,
Yeah.
Legendary Defender.
Keep
And
telling me
I
to
don't
watch
know
it.
if Alex already saw this, but I'm being instigating to him. You know, this is a Joaquin Dos Santos joint. This is a Avatar: Last Airbender, Legend of Korra joint, and it feels like it, and it's just as
It looks really good.
enjoyable as an Avatar series animation. And I highly recommend anybody to watch that. And also, I watch for completely the first season of Stranger Things, and holy crap! I mean, me coming from an era when ET was a thing, and you know, '80s mysteries were kind of awesome. This is just a throwback love letter to that, and I really enjoy what I saw, and it's something that I want everybody needs to see, because even if you didn't grow up and know about the '80s, you should watch this, because in the end of the day, it's a great mystery. It has a lot of suspense, and it's a kid's joint of actors, and there's fun in that, especially these kids that I don't know who they are, and they did a tremendous job with them. They're legit,
Yeah,
and that was awesome.
they're really good.
So yeah, and last but not least, and I'm being starting to watch this because the first two seasons were available on Netflix. Penny Dreadful.
I watched the first episode of
I
that.
don't watch Game of Thrones because
pretty good.
nothing against Tolkien and J.J.R. Martin. I
Where's the
don't like
Railroad
that
Martin?
much of medieval fantasy kind of thing. I'm more into the supernatural, put in a real life, real period setting, and vampires and werewolves and all those kind of Lovecraftian Brothers Grimm kind of thing. And this series just fucked up. It's amazing.
It's
mean,
pretty-
it's a
it seemed
Showtime
pretty good.
joint, so you expect to see a lot of sex and a lot of blood and whatnot. And this series doesn't disappoint. But what I'm most amazed about is about Eva Green's performance. She's just fucking go all out. I mean, I don't know if she won Emmys with this, especially in the first season, but holy crap. I mean, if you haven't seen it, watch the first episode, get intrigued, but then get to the second episode. And then you realize that this woman, I remember watching her in Casino Royale and in Sin City 2, and she's okay. But watching in this, holy shit, it makes a complete perspective of the range this woman can act. It's fucking amazing.
I'll have to check out
So-
that second episode.
But yeah, that's pretty much about me. Before I go, I have a question for you guys. Plot twist. They've always been, spoilery and whatnot. We're already being embraced by plot twists in either series, in television, or video games or whatnot. But instead of telling you what the greatest or the most favorite plot twist, I want you to answer me this: what has been the most disappointed plot twist that you
Ooh.
ever had in your life? Doesn't
In my
have to be a
life.
video games. Plot twisting anything.
It's when I turn 18.
media-wise. So, yeah. Well, that's enough about me. I'm preparing for a lot of rain, but I'll be okay. It's maybe lights go out and
Tropical depression hitting
Why
Puerto
not?
Rico
But,
this weekend. So
it is what it is. This is Puerto Rico, guys. The tropics. Got used to it.
Star Tropics.
So without further ado, have a fun one. I love you all. Sorry for the long voicemail. So PR signing out.
Love you too, Super PR.
I had a chilling thought, like just the other day,
Mm-hmm.
about E.T. getting a reboot.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
It was
How
like,
inevitable it is.
Yeah, like not that I have like some high regard for E.T. and not that anyone talks about E.T. anymore, but it's like for a movie like that to get a reboot, which is just a matter of time, and I know it's just like, fuck, man.
Like, I love the idea of like Super 8, which is like kind of the kind of through line plot of E.T. but done completely differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's great. And I love Super 8 and I love E.T. and they can exist in the same world. But I hate the idea of someone like naming something E.T. and like having it just not be E.T. Like E.T. is such a.
But then we would get another ET game though.
It's true. They could get a second shot at that. It would be an Atari 2600 game though. That's a good question. So, what's the most disappointing plot twist you've had or you've experienced across any medium in your life? I'm trying to think.
That's a tough one.
Time travel in Kingdom Hearts. That wasn't even like I wasn't even disappointed by that. I actually like that in some weird way. So
I wasn't disappointed. It was out there, but it
Yeah.
wasn't disappointing. Disappointing is not the word I would use.
yeah, disappointed is not the right word. It's just muddied. Yeah, I'm sure there are plenty of like ones that I've hated.
Maybe Mass Effect 3, but I think there's some I have more than that.
Like Mass Effect 3, I feel like the kind of where it went with that was just like not where I wanted it to go. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was very
That's the definition of disappointing, bro.
well. I mean, disappointed means like that you were kind of let down by it. I feel I wasn't like let down. I was more surprised. Like I was definitely upset in the moment, but I've cooled my head since then. So maybe immediately disappointed, but retrospectively, not so much. Do you have any, Frank?
I don't know if I would fully say completely disappointed, but what came to mind when I was kind of trying to think about it was earlier this year with Firewatch, the kind of like not twist.
Okay, I think that's a good one.
Because I was super playing it. I was super into the like thriller part that you get to, and you're like, what's going on? What's happening? Why is like this base here? Like, what's going on? And then at the end, it's just like, oh yeah, there was just this weird dude, and like yeah, you just kind of imagined it all, and I kind of get what they were going for. And it's not that I don't like even respect that that's what they did, but I was totally just so on board for that that part, and then it just is like, oh, never mind.
Yeah.
I didn't like Firewatch, but at the same time, no. I wouldn't say I was disappointed by that.
Yeah, I feel like Scott, you were just disappointed by the whole game in general.
I wasn't really up on the
It's
game
just
to
what-
begin with, though. So
Yeah.
like, that didn't. If I was hyped for the game, then yeah, I could say that.
Final Fantasy Explorers. Moving on. No.
That doesn't have a plot twist, so
Yeah.
it
Well,
can't
I mean,
be. It
I
doesn't.
guess. Yeah.
It just doesn't.
It was just disappointing. I'm trying to think. I guess like Metal Gear Solid 5's.
I was thinking that, but I was like, no, I don't want to talk about a video game. I'm trying to think of something else.
like
Yeah, I'm trying to think of.
I'm trying to think of like,
anything.
but like recently, the one that comes to mind, like totally like, man, I feel like this could have been cooler if it was something else. What is disappointing is that here's a definitely one that stuck with me. The fact that Mass Effect 3 wasn't the indoctrination theory, that was disappointing. I loved the indoctrination theory. I thought it was like well thought out and really cool.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that when grasping for straws actually made more sense than what you actually got, and it's like
That was disappointing. Like the Mass Effect ending wasn't bad, but I feel like the community come together to think like, man, maybe they're like laying out all these things for us, and like all the clues and context that they put together made so much sense. So finding out that was
oh
nothing.
my god! Oh, we're on this fucking topic now, because because even the people who are like who are with it, you know, like oh yeah, I like the ending, and like it's like I can't wait till like we get like a continuation when Shepard goes and saves the people from like wherever planet they're on. I remember that conversation with people, and it's like no, that was
it.
That, yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. There was just like so many.
Still a good game, people. I don't know why people don't play that game.
There were just so many like missed signals, either or, like kind of going all over the place. But yeah, that was you're right. Like Nobshin, that's where people were grasping at straws, and it was like, man, like I want this to be real. They're playing conspiracy theories out there that are just terrible, but like are kind of great because they're so over the top. But that one was one that I really liked, honestly.
And probably Bleach. Bleach
Yeah.
has just been getting.
Isn't that like ending soon?
It's like ending like the next few chapters. Like I think they probably just did the last fight.
Are you still
but,
reading it every week?
I have to see how it ends.
I think I quit like a year ago.
One of my coworkers told me that he still loves it, and I'm like, my best friend, or like one of my best friends, like fucking hates it. Like he reads it, but he hates it.
I just have to see how it ends, but
You have to know. No, it's fine.
yeah,
I when it finally does end, I might blaze through it, and I'll probably be like, this wasted like 20, 30 minutes.
That's how it was with me and Naruto, because I would like read a whole bunch like every 4 months and be like, oh, they're close to the end, but they haven't finished it yet. Oh, they're still. Oh, I'll just like wait so I could just like binge this.
But the difference is that was good.
It was great. Oh yeah,
yeah.
true.
This
Fair
isn't.
enough.
This isn't.
And now they're doing more of it, and it's like, oh, this doesn't seem as good, or has the same soul or feeling as
What,
the original
for
did.
Naruto.
Oh, Boruto.
Yeah, but like, yeah, I don't have to. Like, I got what I needed, so I like.
Yeah, I know, but
Well, I
like,
mean, didn't they?
it's like fucking GT. Like, I have to
Yeah, it's
know.
true. It's true. I haven't like. I'm saving that for like a rainy day when I'm like, man, I need some Naruto right now. Tell me about Boruto. Here's a plot twist. This is another video game one. I feel bad because like all mine are video game ones. When spoilers for Sly Cooper 4. When they made Penelope evil, I was like, this is bullshit. Such bullshit. Because Penelope is my favorite character in Sly 3, and I was furious because that was like the one time where like I'm like, what the Sucker Punch didn't even make this game. Like it was like the first time where I was like, what was like, because it was fine, like, and that whole the story overall is great, I think, but like it was like, what would Sucker Punch have done if they were in like the same position? So anyway, that's like the one that like I feel guilty for being as angry about that as I am, but I can't help it, so here we are.
I'd say it's fine.
Yeah.
I have other issues. I'm thinking about like other shit. I'm just thinking like, oh yeah, Evangelion.
Like the whole thing. Frank, do you have any?
Yeah, that's the thing with me.
Oh.
Generally, I don't have
like an expectation.
A plot twist. Well, there's that, but generally, I don't have a plot twist itself that I don't like. Generally, I don't get there because I don't like the entire thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair. I will say, just in defense, I was disappointed by Metal Gear Solid 5's like big reveal. I think like for the most part that game's great, and like the journey itself is phenomenal.
I still say it's a great game, not a great Metal Gear game, at least for me.
Okay, it's
like
it's
a lot of the fan base got really cold in that game, and I guess
I still love like kind of like in Mass Effect 3, like similar to that, like the high points of Metal Gear Solid 5 are so high for me, like so high for me. Even if it is like in its own way, like Metal Gear Solid Gaiden, like its own like independent side story. That's what we should start calling Metal Gear Solid 5 also. Metal Gear Solid Gaiden. Do you think of any other ones, Frank?
Not really.
Yeah, you're
Generally, these things are hard to come up with.
supremely satisfied. Yeah, it's a tough one. I'll think about it. If I think of any more, I'll try and write them down.
I'll forget about it within the
my
next
notes.
15 minutes.
Fair.
But it's also like I kind of just like I don't really ever like hold on to like, oh man, I was so disappointed in that. I just kind of like hold on to the stuff that I'm like, man, this was amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
There's that too.
And it's
So that's why like the only thing that came to mind was Firewatch, because like I was on board for that like just crazy like lost mystery that was going on, and then it's just like plot twist, there isn't one.
Dead Space 3. That's all I'll say. Let's take a look at the tweets. Remember, you can send your questions to @IrrationalPod on Twitter with the hashtag IPQ, and we will read them here at the end of the show. Dun 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 dun. From Sean Donahue @the Sean Donahue. That's SHAUN. He said, "What game would you want an HD remake of?" I feel like we get this question all the time. Dark Souls 1. Even though it's already in HD. It's like you could
get out of here.
You could interpret this as like an actual HD remake or like a port to current gen consoles. I want Dark Souls.
Demon Souls.
I would love to see like an actual remake of Demon Souls, like not just a port of that. I would
like
love
like a remastered.
No, like a totally rebuilt from the ground up. Just like the same game, but like the art all redone and updated. I'd love to see that.
In the Dark Souls 3 engine.
It would look really good. There are vistas in that game that are super cool that I would love to see like in a modern engine. But yeah, Dark Souls 1, I want that on PS4. Mostly like so I can replay it with like people again. because I haven't done that. Like, you can't really do that anymore. But if it came out on PS4, like, people would be playing that online again. People would be invading and leaving messages and summoning and stuff again. That'd be really cool. That'd be
Apparently,
super dope.
people still play Demon Souls for multiplayer though.
Some people do. It's mostly like I summoned a person in Demon Souls when I played it.
Mm-hmm.
This most recent, just one person, and I've seen like other people walking around. Like, I want to show you other people in their worlds walking around.
Yeah.
So other people are still playing that in some regard, but the servers are spotty. They're still up, but they're spotty. Um,
I am surprised.
yeah, it's weird. People are weird though, Scott. To be fair,
I have kind of a weird one, but it's what
Okay.
came to mind. And it's something that I can only dream of because this is never going to happen. But I want the Tony Hawk games just like on PS4 with trophies. And if they were able to be in HD and look super nice, I would love it. And it's never going to happen.
well, they did that. Remember they did Pro Skater 3 or whatever it was. Whichever
Yeah,
one
but
it was.
like I just like I want
And they
like
fucked it up apparently.
I want like the Tony Hawk collection that's like Pro Skater 1 to like the American Wasteland. Like I want like a decade's worth of Tony Hawk games.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Was
And just
I'm thinking PS2 because like they could do the PS2 things, but like it was just Underground that started that, right? Not Tony Hawk 3. Tony Hawk 3 was a PS2, was it? No, Tony Hawk 4 was
might
PS2.
have been.
I think it's
Yeah.
Tony Hawk 4. that
It
was-
might have been because it was on 3 was on GameCube and Xbox, so it might have been.
Oh, okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, there's hope then.
I want to. I'll say in.
I
This
just want
regard,
it so bad.
I want to see more. I wouldn't mind seeing more actual remakes, and not like remasters. I know that's like way more time and work, but like this Resident Evil 2 remake that's happening. It's like an actual remake from the ground up. I'm like that sounds cool. Like I may never play it because I don't know if I'd like Resident Evil 2, but we'll see. And I'd like to see it, like see what that looks like.
Play the first one. You never beat it.
I do. I should. I actually was thinking about that. It wasn't this past
Totally
week, but the
should.
week before. I was like, man.
Dedicate October to announce plays of Resident Evil. I don't know.
Okay, I'd probably play the GameCube port though, just because
You don't want to laugh while you play the fucking game.
Well, it's not even that. It's just like I'd want to. I could play it on PS4. It'd be easier to set up and like it would play like a video game that I could play.
Yeah, you can. They have the updated controls in. It's pretty
Yeah, so that's why. Darksiders 1 is getting ported to PS4, Xbox One. That was like news that we didn't really talk about. I guess people
Really?
are upset about that. Yeah, it's happening.
What's happening?
Darksiders 1 is getting
Mhm.
ported to PS4, Xbox One.
Oh, okay.
So it's getting a remaster.
Well, they're upset it didn't come in last year with the definitive edition.
Definitive edition, I guess. Cameron Abbott at Unsexiest Comedy says, "How do you feel being the first ever
Oh, mine's
guest?"
Mass Effect, by the way.
Oh yeah, yes. How do you feel being the first ever guest on the Naughty Gamers podcast later this week? This is
Sure, I would love to. No. Don't.
directed to me. I will be on there Thursday. I don't know when their shows post, but yeah, that's happening. I'm excited.
Nice.
I was intended to be on like episode 10 a while ago, but it's happening, so I'm excited. Daddy Trevor Starkey at Snarky Starkey said Frank should enlighten the IP audience about the history of the Balls family legacy.
I mean, I'll get into it if you want, but like I don't know if we want to do that.
I feel like that would take like 45 minutes. Is the problem. But what was
Cliff
the
Notes?
name of the family?
Jebediah Balls.
Jebediah Balls, who served in the Civil War.
So let's just I'll give like the Cliff Notes version.
Okay.
But Jebediah Balls in about 1769, which is most people actually don't know, is when the American Revolution started.
It wasn't 1776 for sure.
Well, see, like there was like another war going on, and then that's when it became like the paperwork was filed and it became official.
Okay, cool.
And so, and then a lot of people, a lot of people don't know is that the Boston Tea Party wasn't about tea; it was balls, and that's kind of what sparked a lot of this whole thing too. So basically, Jebediah Balls up through all of the other generations of like Jebediah Balls the third and like the sixth and everything going up through played a major part in all the wars.
Kept the name.
All sons,
They
too.
played a
No
major-
daughters in the whole family.
They played a major part in all the wars that have happened since the American Revolution, and by keeping their soldiers energized, and especially in big one is from World War II with the 69th Balls Battalion, which was a tank brigade,
Of course.
and that was piloted by Jebediah Balls, probably the sixth, I don't know. And
Some number, it's fine.
they just plowed right through the German front line.
Yeah. Normandy ain't no thing
Yep.
for the 69th
Exactly.
Battalion.
They like came off the boats in their tanks already. Like it was very impressive. Like they were daredevils.
Oh. Jebediah Balls. May he rest in peace.
Exactly. Which one?
All of them. Except for the second.
Yeah.
He was a rough spot in the lineage.
Well, see, he didn't fight in any wars because there wasn't any.
Yeah.
But
He just carried the seed forward.
yeah, pretty much.
Joey Noel at Joey Noel asks us, why are Mexican pizzas the most underrated item at Taco Bell?
Because you don't go to Taco Bell for pizza.
Whatever,
You just-
Scott.
You don't go to Taco Bell for Mexican food.
It's true.
Like right, it's like
Might as well
you,
go Italian.
you don't go to Taco Bell for Mexican food. You don't go to Taco Bell for pizza. So why would a Mexican pizza be on the menu? What?
Have you had the Mexican pizza, Scott?
I don't eat it at Taco Bell.
Well, one, then fuck you. Two.
Well,
Mexican-
I mean, like two. Fuck Taco Bell. Now
Okay.
3, your turn.
No, that's fair. I don't have a comeback for that one, but I don't know. The Mexican pizza is great. Okay, it's like 2 circular tortillas. They're very flaky. I don't know what tortillas they are because they don't use them like corn shell tortillas. They don't use them for anything else. And you get the beef in the middle between the tortillas, and
You know,
on
they're
top of that,
probably actual tacos.
they could be. And then on top of that, you get like this like sauce and like this cheese blend that's very good, and tomatoes. It's very good. There's beans in it normally, but I get it without beans because
You're a
Beans
monster.
the beans at Taco Bell taste like peanut butter.
Okay, cut that out. You're no longer a monster. Taco Bell is just garbage.
Yeah. I stand by my original statement. I don't like beans either, so I'm a monster. It's fine. I'm with Joey though. The Mexican pizza is a great menu item. It's you can get the Mexican pizza combo. It comes with 2 supreme tacos and a large drink for $7.99.
I think you should stop trying to get sponsored.
Hashtag
Taco Bell,
ad.
please pay me.
With Taco Bell food.
Trevor Starkey at Snarky Starkey asks, do you think the NX will launch simultaneously worldwide or with a region-by-region rollout?
Region by region.
Yeah, I could see it like launching in January in Japan and March in the U.S.
No, it'll be
Sounds
the
about
US
right.
first again, I believe, because they did that with the Wii U.
Oh, that's right. They did do that with the Wii U. You're right. That's possible. I would say like I could also see it being very close, like within weeks of each other, not necessarily within months of each other.
Hmm.
So like maybe like
Yeah.
early March in the U.S. if it does launch in the U.S. first, and then by the end of March in Japan.
But it is more of a portable console this time around. So
Yeah, so, right. It could go either way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I see it coming out in Europe, Japan, and the U.S. before the end of March. of next year.
I know this the Eurogamer article didn't really talk about this, but like, do you think they're still doing? What was it earlier? Where we were saying like maybe they'll do part of a release now, then the next part of the release later.
Oh,
Like the
like
first
where
part
they
would be
put
the
out
portable. March would be the portable, then like winter or like in fall or whatever would be like the console part of it.
No, I think it's just like there's no console part of it. Like I think it just comes with a thing that you plug it in to keep it charged, and
And display on your TV
and
screen.
then, yeah, and has like an HDMI out. So,
Okay.
But that is like, you know, it leaves the possibility open that they put out a dock station later on, but we'll see.
How much are you paying for this thing?
400 probably.
God.
I can see it be 300 or 350. Ideally, like 300 would be perfect, I think.
I think them getting 249 again would be amazing.
Yeah,
That
it'd
would be
be
like an instant
amazing.
buy.
Yeah, like that was like one of the big things about the Wii was just fucking 249 next to the $600 PS3. What were you gonna say, Frank?
I think 299. Like if I had to take a guess, but 249 would be better because I think a lot of the problems with the Wii U too were the price.
Yeah,
And at least
still
that's
no
like what we
price
used to
drop.
talk about.
still no price.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
It has had a price drop
It
since
has
Mario
to be the
Kart 8
gamepad.
came out.
Yeah, yeah.
But like it has to be the gamepad because it's probably so expensive to make and bundle
That is
it,
because
that it
like
has to be
they
priced
could
up.
they could probably sell more units if they drop the price, but they already like know they're not going to sell that much more, so they'd rather just make a higher profit on the ones that they're selling now.
I'm basically just reaching back to all my points that I used to throw out in like 2013 when they used to talk shit about the Wii U all the time. But like if the Wii U was like 249, like it probably would have done better. But like probably not by much.
I feel like it
'cause
should be
people don't like the gamepad.
$200. I feel like it should
No,
be
that's what I used
$200
to
right
say.
now.
Yeah,
So.
like as low as it can go. Just get
I
them
will
out.
say, my realistic guess for what I think the actual U.S. price will be is $349. What I hope it is $299. I'll say that. Cameron Abbott at Unsexiest Comedy says there is nothing good about the Mass Effect 3 ending pre-director's cut. Hashtag IPQ. Again,
I think he's just mad.
I think he's just mad as well.
Eh.
I would say it's definitely rougher pre-director's cut, mostly because of like the scene where you like evac out your two allies is like pretty important, and that just like wasn't there before. But like that dialogue scene with the elusive man, so good,
Yeah.
so good.
It
Like,
almost, the game should have ended after that.
Yeah, it should have just ended. And like the dialogue with I always forget his name, the commander Anderson. Yeah, like where like Anderson like quietly dies, and it's like and it's like
emotional.
It's like you realizing like that he's dead, and like you're here alone, and you've got to the end of your journey. It's like it's super powerful.
Yeah.
And then it keeps going.
And then it keeps going. and then yes, Star Baby. And it gets a little ridiculous, but it's like, again, as a guy who loves JRPGs, like that kind of like high fantasy weird ending to a sci-fi story is like totally up my alley. So like, it's not too bad. Definitely, I wouldn't say nothing is good about it. I would say there are definitely really great parts about it. Daddy Trevor asks, at Snarky Starky once more, last question. Where does everyone at IP fall in debate of pineapple on pizza?
Get that shit out of there.
Well, I mean, I don't like pineapple in general, so I'm going to be biased.
Really?
Extremely biased. So I'm just going to opt out.
Okay.
Because you know what my answer would be.
Okay. I know Tony likes pineapple on pizza.
Actually, I don't mind it. I haven't really tried it myself, so I
Well,
wouldn't mind trying it.
Do you like pineapple?
I have no idea. You're talking to the wrong guys about trying
I
food.
love pineapple so much. Here's the thing. Defense. Like, because I don't like pineapple on pizza, but I'm not, like, opposed to it. If it's there, I will eat it, because I will always eat pizza if it's in front of me.
That's kind of my stance, too.
Yeah, like, pizza is, even if it's got stuff on it that I don't necessarily like, it's still probably all right. But, like, it's like the pineapple is like these cubes, right? They're very thick. They're very wet, right? It's a different kind of wet than like the sauce on pizza. So I just don't.
wet.
It's so wet. It's like sticking my fist in a pool.
It's like Aquaman. Just press the button, he gets wet.
It just gets so wet.
It says,
It's Aquaman's get wet button. Oh my god, what a deep cut. Fuck man, Injustice was a great video game.
Oh man.
He just gets slippery. Just gotta get oil up. God, I hope that's in the Injustice too. If Aquaman still has his get wet button, might be Game of the Year 2017.
that's Aquaman's through line through the new Justice League movie.
Of course, it's
The first thing he does is get wet.
and somehow for the rest of the film, he's always glistening. Like, no. I love you, Navashin. What a great pull. It's like, but like a pineapple is like a fruity wet, whereas like the pizza sauce is kind of like a spicy or like acidic wet. It just doesn't mesh for me. Frank?
I mean, I've never had pineapple on pizza before, but I will take the stance here that my vote is willing to be bought.
By balls, mostly. If balls paid you to love pineapple pizza, you would do it.
Yeah, probably. And then I'd be like, hey, we got this new flavor of balls, pineapple pizza flavor.
That's it.
I want to say one more thing about balls, even
Okay,
though this
please.
is going to ruin the whole podcast that we've been building towards.
Yeah, it's
Is that they came out with a new flavor this year called sugar-free balls, and their entire ad campaign didn't, and I will say it did not revolve around teasing the balls, and I was so disappointed.
And now we're all disappointed. We did get a question in reply to it from Quentin Hoffman asking, "How are you doing, Alex?" But it didn't have the hashtag IPQ. So you'll never know now, Quentin. But thank you for buying our shirt. He was like the one person that tweeted at IrrationalPod that said, "I don't listen to your show, but I'll totally buy your shirt." I'm like, fucking cool. So at least I know he'll never hear this. Thank you so much for sending your questions. Remember, you can be a part of the show in a variety of ways, like sending an email to mailsack@irrationalpassions.com or leaving a voicemail at 404-590-1337 or tweeting at IrrationalPod, our Twitter account, with the hashtag IPQ and your question attached, of course. I want people to just start tweeting at it with the hashtag IPQ and nothing else. It's like, well, I guess we missed the train on this one. You can also, I was going to say you can also be a part of the show in a variety of ways, and I was just going to start the loop over again. You can follow each of us on Twitter. I'm at AlFighter27. Scott is at WUTTEHCHUZ What to Chuz. Nabishin is at NEBESHIN186, Nabishin186. And Tony's at Tony Horvath. Frank, you are at Irrelevant Jokes.
Yes.
Which is a great Twitter handle. I'll let you know.
Oh, thank you. I get compliments on the name sometimes. I enjoy it. And I also just want to throw out there before we close that do look me up on farmersonly.com. That's my preferred social media. And my username on there is Make America Date Again.
But date is spelled like the vegetable date.
Yeah.
Follow the site on Twitter at IrrationalPod. Like I said earlier, some other stuff. Rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Go to VGEvo.com. Check out the podcast there, as well as MaliciousPodX. Go follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/IrrationalPassions. Go to our YouTube page, youtube.com/IrrationalPassions. You can watch the bonus content and the video version of this show. The bonus content's like an extra 30 minutes of us bullshitting before the show, for people who don't know.
And you can find out where Farmers Only came from.
Exactly. And tell your friends about the show. Word of mouth is the best way to spread the love. And for everything Irrational Passions, IrrationalPassions.com. Now, Frank, you don't do a podcast or like anything.
I don't yet.
Yet.
Well, also this is a good. this is a good segue into my other joke I came loaded in with.
Okay, I
Was
was
I'm
literally
starting a
going to ask.
podcast. I'm starting a podcast called Rational Fashions,
Okay.
where we talk about high function clothes.
Go on.
The first episode is all about goggles. It's the next fashion trend.
Okay.
Goggles everywhere, right?
And
Goggles everywhere.
episode 2 is about Ugg boots. So
Okay.
look forward to that.
I'm into it. I hate Uggs. That's the show. Now, Nabashin, you finally made it to the end of a podcast. And you were going to do a closing segment called Lore Dump. I think is what it was
Oh,
called.
do we actually want to do this?
I want to. Let's do it. Fuck it.
All right.
Okay.
Go
So the base.
ahead.
So this is it's funny because like all the stuff we've been talking about today, like it kind of ties into this. Like so I listened to the comedy button like like a few weeks ago, and it was like Ryan Scott just pretty much explained what Doctor Who was, and like everybody else not knowing what the fuck it is, so they trying to make like dumb references. It's like, oh, so it's like, you know, some guy in the bathrobe that just like goes into closets and goes back in time for some reason. So like it's pretty much breaking it down to like the dumbest type of thing. So I want us to do something similar to that.
Okay.
But it's like it has to be something like a lore that like one of us knows like almost completely, but none of us on the other side knows anything about. Like, let's say like for instance, like if I was the only one who knew about Kingdom Hearts and like everybody else didn't know, and like I was trying to explain Kingdom Hearts to somebody, but like they're like, you're like Mickey Mouse's like apprentice or something like that. Like no, it's like you're this kid who's like gets a key and like can open doors into people's hearts. I was like, no.
Yeah.
But like something similar to that. At least that's what I was thinking. But like I don't know.
I've got plenty of ones that no one else here would get. So.
All right, then. Like for this week, we're gonna start with you, Alex. Let's
Okay.
go. Just pick one. Pick your favorite one.
I mean, don't get oversensitive about it because we're probably going to tear into it. But,
Oh, absolutely.
Like, just try to get like through it.
I'm looking at my list of JRPGs. I'm like, which one do we want to destroy? Let's just do Tales of Vesperia because it's the one I'm like the most familiar with the lore of.
Yeah, I know nothing about that game.
Yeah, and I know no one here knows anything about it. I can pick any Tales game, and y'all will be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Not Symphonia, probably not the Zillia ones either.
Yeah, I was considering this. Vesperia, I'm super solid. I know what's going on in Tales of Vesperia.
All right, let's go.
Okay, so should like I go in the progression of like what the characters know, or go in the progression of the world?
Your choice.
Yeah, sure.
All right, we'll do what the characters know. So like, I don't know. It's like medieval times, I guess. I didn't like really
like the restaurant.
Yeah, it's like the restaurant where all of them vote on like what knight they think. Green Knight wins always. He's got long purple hair. Anyway, no, the world is like runs on like Blastia, which is like a real word that somebody came up with.
Blastia?
Which is that's based on blast processing, right?
Yeah, it's
I'm pretty sure it's the water Pokemon.
It's based on the water
Blastoise.
Blastoise, yeah. And like I don't know, you put like a crystal in a Blastia and it like turns into like a working machine. Like so, if like there's a water fountain, you put a water Blastia, or you put a water core into the water fountain. And the fountain is the Blastia.
I'm pretty sure if you put a Blastoise into a water fountain, there'd be water coming out. So
Yeah.
I mean,
so well, then the water comes out. So
I'm with you.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. So I guess.
So are they pocket sized?
It depends on how big the Blastia is, right? So the Blastia core might be pocket sized, but the Blastia might be like a giant robot.
Why didn't you say how big the pocket is?
Fair enough. Depends on how deep your pockets are. So you play Yuri Lowell.
Yuri LOL.
Yeah, Yuri LOL. Yuri Lowell. LOL. Yuri Laugh Out Loud. Who's a dude who always somehow has like his.
Wait, what? Never mind.
Yeah, it's
Keep
a
going.
guy with like long black hair. Somehow, like his like shirt jacket is always open enough to like show his chest, like always. And like he used to work for the Knights who are.
Oh, so he's like Dante with black hair.
He's actually kind of like.
So we're playing Devil May Cry, the rebooted version right now.
Yeah, it's DMC Yuri LOL, and
When does he pull out a sword?
pretty quickly actually.
When does it change forms?
He doesn't? Well, okay, that's not. He doesn't. Let's go with he doesn't. And like so, you live in like the lower quarter of this big city. They just call it the lower quarter. I don't know why. And someone.
I know.
Is it the lower quarter?
Yeah, it's the lower portion. It's the lower 1/4 of the city. And you've got like a water fountain, it's a water blast here, right? And someone steals the core, so it doesn't work anymore. And now the lower quarter doesn't have water, so you go on an adventure trying. This is actually what this game's about. You go on an adventure trying to like.
Oh my god.
Like get the core back, right? So you can fix the Blastia and make the lower quarter great again. And like you're going through the city, you know, with a princess. Her name is Estelise.
Do you build a wall at any point?
You do not build a wall, but there are barriers around all the cities to keep monsters out. So the wall has already been built. And guess it. So there are barrier blastoids that keep the monsters out. So this world is all like dependent on Blastia because it's covered in monsters, I guess. I don't know. I didn't think about it too much. And then you go and you save the princess, and you don't know she's a princess yet. But
when did Mario come into the story?
I don't know.
Is her name ROFL?
Princess Rafflecopter comes with you. Frank was the perfect guest to have on for the first time of this.
I know. Actually, when Abishin was describing it, I was like, "My time to shine."
So the Princess Estelle, she comes with you. You don't know she's a princess, and you go like looking for the Water Blastia core, and you're like going from town to town or whatever. I'm trying to think like. You can skip over like a bunch of stuff. You meet a whole bunch of people. Like there's this weird little kid. His name is Carol.
That's a strangely adult name for a child.
Yeah, he's a small man, and he has a big axe.
Oh, it's a boy. Okay,
it's a boy. Yeah.
Okay.
It's Carol with a K. And he's got a big axe hammer, and then you meet a mage, and her name is Rita. And you thought
Rita LMAO.
Yeah, Rita LMAO. And then you meet the band 303. But like she's like you thought she was the one that stole the Blastia core, she didn't. And then in the PS3 version, you meet a girl named Patty. She's a pirate, Patty the pirate. There's a Krabby Patty joke there, but I'll leave that for you guys. Honestly, like
I was thinking Patty Mayonnaise. I didn't want to say anything.
that's fair. You meet Patty Mayonnaise, and then you meet an old man named Raven, and everyone thinks he's a pervert because he's older than everyone else. So of course, everyone thinks he's a pervert.
And he is.
And he is.
He hangs out with Carol. He hangs out with Carol too much.
You meet a girl who rides on a dragon, and her name is Judy. Nothing for Judy.
I'm trying to put this cast of characters together in a medieval setting right now.
It's like kind of medieval. I guess it's like medieval's like the closest.
I'm pretty sure you had some futuristic mechs in there.
There is some weird futuristic shit. They're all Blastia.
Well,
they're all Blastoids.
He said it's medieval times, like the restaurant. Like you can bring your phone there. Like there's technology in medieval times.
Medieval times exists in our world.
You see, the question I'm having right now is when do you get your food?
They bring it to you during the second act.
God damn it!
I
Doesn't
know.
it take like 10 hours to get through the first act?
It actually takes 17 or so hours to get through the first act.
You see, now this is why I don't dine with this game.
You don't wine and dine at the medieval
Well,
time.
see,
I don't dine with this game.
I really thought when he said, "When do you get your food?" he was bringing it back to the food that deteriorates thing.
Yeah. So then you put it in the refrigerator. Stays all right. But
They
you're
don't have
familiar.
refrigerators in medieval times.
It's true. I mean, I have my cell
I
phone
mean, I'm sure they do in the back.
I like that we're bringing not only the myth of medieval times with us, but also the reality that hides behind it. Eventually, you go from one continent to the other continent, and you find out like, oh, this is like where all the guilds are, and the guilds are like independent of the empire that kind of rules the world. It's kind of fucked up if you think about it a little bit too much.
But there's only 2 continents in the entire world.
Well, there's like 6, but there's like 2 main ones. Just like in the real world. Because no one counts Antarctica. Well, there's like 2 big ones, right? With like nations on them. The other ones are like smaller,
And they're like they count as islands.
well, yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
Like
It's just yeah.
there's less
On here,
populated
yes.
cities on them. Yes, we'll go with yes. They count as islands. Sure,
They
Scott.
count as islands.
And then
That's
like
right.
if you disavow the empire, you can join a guild, and they're like, cool, we won't fuck with you as long as you don't like fuck up the whole world. But like they're like good
As long
guilds.
as you don't destroy everything, we'll leave you alone.
There's like good guilds and bad guilds, like assassin guilds, but also like
Is there a Guild Wars?
yeah, there actually is a guild war in the game. And then like there's some tension, worrisome that there might be a war between the guilds and the empire, but you put a stop to that. And then you leave the empire to make your own guild with basically your party members, and it's called Brave Vesperia. And that's the first act of Tales of Vesperia.
I think we'll save the next X for next time.
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I was all ready to go in, and I wanted to see how we could bring it back like medieval times.
No, you guys did good. You properly
Like
destroyed that
the
game.
game. The game ends with-
It doesn't make any sense to me still.
It shouldn't. It goes at a little bit of a more metered pace if you actually play the game. So that was fun. That's a good.
I'd probably still call bullshit, wouldn't I?
You probably would. You might. That was good. That's a good topic, Nabishin. I like it.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good time. I'm glad I brought it up with Frank here.
Yeah.
That's the whole show. We're gonna end it now. It only took us 3 hours to get here. Thank you for coming on, Frank.
I had a great time.
Yeah, this was fun.
Thanks for having me on. I hope to come back at some point.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Hope the balls didn't pop with everyone.
Yeah, hopefully Balls didn't like send us a cease and desist letter in the mail. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Nabishin, for joining me as always. I love you guys. Winky face. Tony, somewhere out there, hopefully he's actually getting some sleep. He wasn't on here because he's been awake forever. He was on the bonus content.
Playing Clash of Clans.
Yeah, he's playing Clash of Clans right now. I just get online. He's like playing Overwatch. He's like, "Sadu," and I'm like, "Fucking Tony." Thank you, Danny Wiesner, for our opening music of 2-player co-op and our closing music of The World Is Saved. Just announced this week that he's having another kid. Player 4 coming soon is how he announced it because he's adorable. So that's awesome. Congratulations to him and his wife Tori. Trying to think anything else. Yeah, it's just another friendly reminder. Rational Passion's official T-shirt is still on sale. teespring.com/IPPT. You can get it for limited time, limited quantity. Just if you had missed it before, you get another chance to get it. Thank you everyone that bought it already or that bought our last shirt. We love you all. If you get your #1 fan T-shirt in the mail, take a picture with it on. Send it at IrrationalPod. We'll retweet it. So we would super appreciate
Wearing
that.
only the T-shirt. They'll only retweet it if you only wear the T-shirt.
Yeah, but just the T-shirt. Bottoms or get the fuck out. No bottoms or get the fuck out, I should say. Thank you, everyone, so much for listening. We love you all so much. I've been your host, Alex O'Neill. Play your games, stay rational. We will talk to you all next week. So, Frank, you want to keep recording?
Okay.
Scott, in the absence of Tony Horvath, you have a job to do.
That is correct. Titles.
Titles. Titless.
Titles.
You might want to open up the doc for this, Frank.
All right. So I'm confused as how I'm supposed to say this one, so I'm just going to say this parentheses part. Not safe fucking work. I'm all about that farmeronly.com. Live Willard reactions. Burger King is also gross. Gotham City money grab. I'm all about that bazonga.
I like that you
We can finally have ice climbers.
Finally.
George Railroad Martin. Metal Gear Solid Gaiden. Jebediah Balls the Sixth. You don't go to Taco Bell for Mexican food.
It's good. Just like you don't go to Rational Passions for quality podcasts.
Hey man, this is top quality podcasting.
Get wet
You
button.
think NPR has this shit?
Not on this level. Get wet button for the win.
Get Aquaman kind of wet
Yeah.
button. Make America Date Again. Blastoistia.
These are all so good.
Yuri. Lol. I missed that one up. Oh well. Don't wine and dine at medieval times.
Oh, that one's so good. Oh, these are all so good, Nabashin.
I mean, I'm really
good titles.
I'm really partial on most of these because like half of these are things I've said.
Yeah.
But I really do. I do kind of want to rep the Farmers Only one though. But I will leave it to you guys to decide.
Nah, you get a vote too.
Yeah, you get a vote too. Everybody gets a vote.
I know I get to vote, but like I don't even know what to vote for. There's a lot of good ones in there.
Raw.
FarmersOnly.com for your consideration.
Trevor Starkey tweeted at me saying date is spelled date always. But he spelled
Yo,
always.
thanks, Dad.
Oh, he said always, I should say. Not always. What are you talking about? And I just want to reply to him and say, I'm sorry.
You said date. You spell like the vegetable.
Yeah, spelled like the vegetable, but it's just still spelled date.
Yes.
Right.
I assumed it was spelled differently, like DAET or something stupid like that.
No. It's the. I was. You see, I thought you knew, and I thought that was part of the joke, but I guess you didn't.
Trevor saw right through my clever disguise and my insecurities. These are all perfect. So,
I thought it was like a joke.
I mean, it was a joke. It's just that I wasn't in on it.
Well, like I thought it was a joke, but I'll commit to the bit, so I let it go.
Like seriously, like pretty much the entire bottom half of the list is perfect, and then the entire top half of the list is also great.
Yeah, you don't go to Taco Bell
Is that you're going with
for Mexican food.
option?
Don't wine and dine at medieval times.
I was gonna say that one. That's it. Don't wine and dine at
All
medieval
right,
times.
I can support that.
That's just a good
Just
words.
I really hope Farmers Only makes it into the bio then.
It's gonna have its own way of making it into this podcast. People will never forget Farmers Only. It's in the hearts of our listeners. I'm gonna write down what I want you to say, Frank. Although I'm sure you've figured it out by now. God damn, I can't spell. Are you in the doc, Frank?
Yeah, I don't have it open, but I can open it. It was just taking forever to load, so I closed it.
Okay.
Probably gonna need it open.
Yeah. So what I have the guests say, you're listening to Irrational Passions Podcast episode 288. I guess I'll say the Irrational Passions Podcast.
All right,
Since
you want me to just say that?
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
All right, just
All right.
do me a favor and then forget the 2 and the P on the passions.
Don't listen to that. And I will say the title. Actually, no, Nabashin says the title because you haven't made it to this part in a long time.
Sure.
All right.
Whenever you're
So
ready,
I'm
Frank.
just gonna go ahead and go for it. All right. So I'm gonna draw this out like half an hour.
I gotta go to bed.
You're listening to Irrational Passions, episode 288, the best podcast that has ever been recorded.
Brought to you by Farmers.com. Don't wine and dine at medieval times.
They got no refrigerator.
There it is. You can stop recording now. That's very fun to cut to.
That was a one mess of a time.
That's it. No, it's gonna come out great. I'm sure. I'll make it sound good.
I gotta go. So
Yeah.
Good night, guys.
Option.
Later, Frank.
Later.
To our video viewers, thank you so much for watching. We love all of you, and good night.